Hello, everybody. Welcome, finally, to the 30th episode of the Tennessee Twos Disc Golf Podcast. We made it. There was a legitimate minute there where we weren't sure if we were going to make it because everything goes wrong when you need it to go right. Obviously, that's just how life works. Once again, we are joined with our first ever return guest, Josh
Charles, the
from
dog.
Lone Star Disc.
Oh,
Yes, Charles the
Charles the
dog.
Dog.
Charles the
Um,
dog. Welcome.
So I don't know if Ethan's told you this, but we've already decided at this point, to be completely honest, that you're no longer a guest on the show. At this point, you're just family.
Yes,
So
Hey,
you know, and
absolutely.
this family bond goes a little bit farther than we have told anybody about yet, and we'll get into that here a little bit later. But I believe Ethan has some things he wants to tell us about to start.
Yeah, there's a cat on the screen. How about that?
I got a whole barn right now.
joined joined
E-I-E-I-O.
by joined by uh the whole gang now.
It's like they
He's
knew.
wondering where the cat went right now.
He's blind,
As
but he's staring directly into the webcam. I
I
don't
know.
understand.
It's
He's staring into my
he
soul.
literally does know that I'm talking about him, and I'm sorry. Um,
It's like he knows.
but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. We are super excited to announce that our new presenting sponsor for the Tennessee Twos podcast will be Lone Star Disc. Yes.
Yo,
Um
whoop
we
whoop.
that is one of the most exciting uh announcements that we have. To add to that, we also have a new logo, a couple new logos actually. Um, but our main logo has not been leaked yet. Um,
No leaks.
no leaks. Our alternate logo we put out earlier today. Some of you may have seen it. Um,
Or
but
2 days ago if you were on Twitter.
yeah, yeah. Twitter got the first peek. Not gonna lie. Um, but all the other socials got their love today. So what we're gonna do is start off by showing you the new intro with the logo. And then we will get into more about what Lone Star Disc means to us. Here we go. Hope you like it. And boom. There you go. Hopefully, all of that played out well for you guys. Um, if you got to see it, I don't know. Josh, did you get to see it?
Yeah. Wow, it was
I
great. I
It was
I
loved
j-
great.
it.
I got to be honest. I mean, we first of all, new logo, cool. Thank you so much. Ethan basically has a buddy who worked that up for us. Thank you so much for working that up for us. We really appreciate it. But also to the person from Fiverr who did the transition, they did 10 or 15 transitions to us, and that one just hit different. When we
It
saw
did.
it, it was instantaneously, we knew that was the one.
Yep.
So that one will continue to be our work in transition. As you can see, a lot of the stuff still looks exactly the same as it used to. You'll see our old logo is down there in the right hand corner. That'll change soon. A lot of the overlays on the stream are going to change soon. We just couldn't put it all together today. It's part of the reason why we're so late. Sorry for being late. But a lot of the new overlays will be active here in the next couple of weeks. We have a lot more changes coming. And
Yeah.
it's going to be a wild ride. And thank you so much to Lone Star Disc for partnering with us and allowing us to grow this even more because we've grown exponentially quicker than we ever expected to begin with. And we decided a couple of months ago that we had outgrown the platform that we had originally designed for this. And with Lone Star's partnership, it really gives us a lot more freedom to do some new stuff, and hopefully we can bring you guys better content and continue making the show as good as it can be.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We're excited to work with y'all for sure.
Yes. I'm really excited about it. Um, it's going to help improve our quality of content, and once we get all of the bugs worked out, we don't have to blame anything on me anymore. You know what I mean? Like that's
I'm
because
not
I
I'm not
do.
even gonna sit here and try to blame you for that. We're trying to get this show on the road at like 7:30, and every time we're like, okay, I think we're ready. Then he's like, oh no, and then we're
Yeah.
like, oh gosh,
It.
and then
I.
we're
Yeah.
ready, and then it's oh no, and oh my gosh,
I feel like it's
and
only when I show up though, you
It.
know.
It.
no.
To be honest, it's
two
been
weeks 2 weeks ago there was a thunderstorm that made it impossible to hear what I was saying. A week ago there was a thunderstorm made it impossible to hear what he was saying.
Oh
It's just
no.
lightning ran into my streaming mic last weekend during the podcast, and
it's
then
been
in the middle of it, sorry for all of the audio issues. I know a few of you did reach out and was like, "Hey, what's this popcorn?" And I completely, I am very sorry for that. Hopefully, it will not be like that tonight. Um, I am junking that mic. I did get a new mic and Stream Deck, but guess what? The Stream Deck's dead. So it's just one problem after another, but it is okay. We're gonna continue trucking through it, just like any adversity that we come across, and just like you should in your life.
do
Um,
you know how many games of Rocket League Josh could have played in the delay? I was thinking about it. I could have gone through 2 whole rounds of winner winner chicken dinners out on the PUBG track, and
Yeah. I think
here
that's
we
what
are.
we should have just left Ethan to his devices and just been like there for sound check.
yeah.
I was thinking I could have entered a tournament in Rocket League, maybe got some credits. Boothie was supposed to be playing with me right before this, and I was like, "Hey, like I'm real tight on time. Like I had some real estate stuff come up, so sorry I can't play." And so he's
Yeah.
been waiting this whole
Yeah.
time.
We do apologize, but thank you for tuning in and at least giving us a hard time. We appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, Daniel, I'll let you go ahead and get in on what we have to talk about.
All right. Are we starting with Sula today,
Let's
or
do it.
let's
Ooh,
get started? All right. So Sula, what an exciting weekend it turned out to be for a silver series.
Mm-hmm.
And hang on a second, I got to make some changes here real quick. This is just
While
bad.
you're doing
Oh
that,
gosh.
huge shout out to the
Oh my
boy from
gosh, I
Lone
can't even
Star.
see.
All right, we're just
yeah.
gonna go ahead and get into this.
That's so much better.
Um, I took my chance. So Chandler
Go
Kramer,
for it.
this was the first time that I personally have seen him on live, um, and we got to see a lot of him. And
Yes.
how proud,
Dude.
how proud is Lone Star right now?
Let me tell you, bro. So I have been on the road. I've had no weekends off, right? So 5
Mm-hmm.
weekends in a row, I've been working events and stuff, and it's been really awesome to go out and support all of our team members. We had so many people show up, not only for obviously Sula Chandler's out there, but we also had Junior and Master Worlds happening at the same time. The drive back, being able to watch Chandler live. No, number one, I'm from the Midwest, so I can say this. The Midwest is probably the most boring drive on the planet, right? And so to be able to watch Chandler and have it playing over the speakers of the van and we're driving, anytime Chandler would crush a drive and park it, I mean, it was lit. And so me and St. John are like, let's go, go, Chandler. Like it was so much. I haven't felt that way in a long time watching something on my phone. And so props to him. I mean, the round that they showed was his worst round, but he still
Yeah.
shot over 1,000 rated, and it was his first time ever playing that course. So he absolutely killed it, finishing tied for fifth
Mm-hmm.
with I think he had like some crazy 1,069 or 1,089, some crazy high 1,000 plus rated round. Um, Super proud of him, dude.
Yep.
I think that the other side of it for me is like Chandler before we even sponsored him, like I got to know him. He stayed over at my house a couple times, and so it was cool to like see your friend out there
Right.
taking it
Yeah.
down. It was like part of me is excited because it's our brand, and he's out there representing us with that sick Ranger shirt, which is going to be available tomorrow at
Yep.
LoneStarDisc.com. We're going to be adding some stock of our Ranger t-shirts, but also as a
Hell
friend to be able to
yeah.
go. It was sick. You're just like,
Yes.
let's go.
I was I
So
I was excited. I was like glued in, and the cool thing about it is the commentators did a really good job because he was different, as in forehand only.
oh
They
yeah.
talked through every single one of his shots. That is
Hmm.
awesome. That was
Yes,
great.
and they kept bringing it up. Like
Yes.
they would be like, "All right, we're going to pan over to Eric," and they're like, Chandler would have thrown a forehand on this one. I wonder
Yeah.
what Chandler's going to do for the next hole." And I was like, "Keep bringing up his name." I was like, "I'm
Exactly.
all for it."
Exactly. That
Did you
did
guys
nothing
see?
but help him. I know it had to have helped him tremendously on
Oh yeah.
growing on social media and everything. I made sure to reach out to him, tell him congratulations and everything, and he was just like, "Let's go!"
Yeah,
I
dude,
was like,
it was crazy. They even had a skins match where someone throws a forehand up this big. It's a backhand hole, and this guy crushes a turnover forehand.
"Yeah,
And I think Matty O was like, "Man, I'd have thought if you'd asked me if I was going to throw a forehand on this hole, I'd have said the only person would be Chandler Kramer." And I was like, "He's getting recognized for his forehand
yes."
skill. Like
Yep.
now, don't forget the man's got a mean lefty backhand,
I That was
but."
also talked about. They
Yeah.
was like, "Is this a lefty backhand or is this a righty
Hmm.
forehand?" And they're like,
When he warms up like this,
"Yeah,
he warms up this way, and so you're like, okay, there's no this motion. He doesn't
yeah."
ever go like that. It's always this.
I
Who else
I
does
had to
that? Is like
wonder.
Chris Clemens also does that too.
Really
Yes.
Yeah. I had to wonder
interesting.
how many people was watching the coverage and saw him walk up and they were like, "Oh, he's gonna throw a backhand this time, lefty backhand," and then he
Boy,
throws a forehand, and then they're like, "Oh."
listen, Chandler Kramer is the literal definition of never let them know your next move.
Mhm.
Dyes his hair green so he can
Yep.
go out on tour. He goes, if I dye my hair, is that going to be like okay? And we're like, yeah, like dye it blonde or something. He comes in the next day to work and
Green.
it's like green, and I was like, bold, okay. He's
Yep.
like, yeah,
Bold
he's like,
move.
I'll get remembered for the green hair. Don't worry. I was like, all
Yeah.
right, man,
And it
I'm all
worked.
for it.
It worked.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So go ahead and tell us how it went down.
All right,
Which part?
so
Oh.
He said, "Which part?"
I was like, what are we talking about?
I don't know if you want to break down the leaderboard. Go ahead.
He's like, "Yeah, let me get it."
I know you're just like me. You have 1,000 windows open. I'm sure one of them is UDisc, so I'm sure you could tell me.
Mhm.
All right, so this is how it broke down on the MPO side. Greg Barsby taking down the dub in a playoff against Jacob. I was
Jakob?
really
Jakob.
hoping,
Jakob.
yeah, it's Jacob. Most of you see that and you'd say, "Oh, it's Jacob, right?" No,
Yeah.
it's not. But really, I got to be honest. I love Greg Barsby, but I was rooting so hard for Jakob so much. I wanted him to win so bad, and it was just heartbreaking for me to be like, "Yeah, he's gonna do it. This is gonna be awesome. A Euro is actually gonna win. You know, the first Silver Series in Europe." And then hole 3 happened, and he just goes out there. He takes a double bogey. Greg took that birdie, and you just felt the tides change a little bit there. He ended up fighting back a little bit towards the end. Unfortunately, he had a chance to close her out on the 18th,
Mhm.
bogeyed on the 18th, send it to the playoff. We know what happens after that. Um, and then, you had Juna taking down third place, James Conrad taking down fourth place, as we already said. Chandler was taking down fifth place with Vino Makula and Calvin Heimberg and Kevin Jones, all
Hey,
taking down that
that
tie for
fifth
fifth.
place is a pretty top tier echelon right
Coveted.
there.
Coveted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just imagine those 4 people on a card. I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Like, just give me fifth place.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will watch that. I will watch that card
If
any
you
day
guys had
of
to
the week.
choose a medal, right? So we've got gold, silver, bronze. What would be your fifth place medal? Are we talking like
Hmm.
steel? Are we talking like
So it's gotta be 2 steps below bronze,
okay?
right?
Now,
Because
I think what we do is we actually dethrone the gold, silver, and bronze and move them
oh yeah,
downwards,
yeah. I'm
and then we
Oh,
add
platinum,
platinum and then
mhm.
diamond,
diamond.
right?
Grand
So then you
champ. Wait.
so
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
it's,
Whoopsie.
Sorry, it's my
that's
Rocket League
called
coming
no
in.
no
Sorry.
Grand
Supersonic.
Master. Okay, we
Super.
go Star
Yeah.
Wars. It's the Grand Master. Tree bark.
Tree bark
um,
mare.
Sorry for the people I just broke their eardrums.
oh
Oh
god.
my god.
So yeah.
So
Again.
yeah, so then you have diamond place, platinum place, and then you've got gold, and now gold is the old bronze. Orange is the new
Mm.
black, whatever,
Yeah.
if whatever they say.
Gold is the new bra. Who wants to come in first anymore when you can tie for fifth? Am I right, guys? Come on.
Right.
Come on, come on. You know
Especially
what I'm saying?
yeah. So a big question I have is where did Eric Oakley end up? Um, I know we didn't get to that yet. Was it like
He
13th,
16th.
16th?
Yeah,
He was
he
in the
struggled a little
lead
bit on the
at this
second
tournament.
course. Mhm.
One thing that I did see a lot on live was spit outs, right? Um,
Yeah.
These spit outs are getting talked about a lot lately. Um, it's
Oh
not on
man,
any one particular basket even. It's just
no,
is it the way that people are putting? I,
a little bit. So they
so many
were,
different style of putts are spitting out.
Oh yeah.
as pointed out, they were disc golf park baskets.
Yes.
And I believe, if people were like, "Oh, that's disc catcher for you," or this, that, and the other, and then somebody was like, "Well, that's disc golf park, not," and I'm
Right.
like, "Well, they look like disc catchers,"
Yeah.
and I haven't looked into it far enough to know if Innova manufactures the disc golf parks or not. But I can tell you I hate disc catchers, and they are basically disc catchers. The chain spacing is identical, the band is identical, and I can't tell you like how frustrating I find them because you put it a little too hard at the pole, and that pole's going to bounce you out. You
Yeah.
hit it too with a little too much hyzer on the high right, it's going to cut through. And then there were some times where people were trying to soft putt, and the front chains were kicking them out, and
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't like them. I didn't appreciate them. However, everybody played on the same basket.
Yep. And unfortunately that's in our sport, no matter what basket it is, the pros are the pros for a reason. So I'll give a little shout out to like Leah Sinagini, for example.
Yes.
Leah, we brought her on, I think it was January. She flies out, her entire bag was mixed. We go, you have to have a Lone Star bag. She goes, okay, throws everything out. We play one practice round. She whoops my butt by 6 strokes at my home course,
Of course.
okay, with discs that she's never thrown. So pros, to me, the best pros in the world can take any disc or any basket, right? And they'll go, okay, I'm spitting out and I'm hitting the pole. I need to putt a little softer. Or, okay, I
Yep.
put it a little too soft. I need to putt harder. Now, of course, I'm actually a huge Eric Oakley fan. And so anytime that a putt would spit out for him or hit a pole, I was like, my guy, like, this
Yeah.
sucks. Like, I hate that it's
Yeah.
happening to you, you know?
It really got me when he was like, I don't deserve it.
Oh, dude,
That
internally,
tore
I
me
was just like,
down. I'm
Oh,
not gonna
yeah.
lie. You know what I mean? Like
listen,
the second time it happened, and he's like, "I don't deserve this," and I'm just like, you felt
this.
it in his voice, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Because that was a bad rollaway,
man,
too.
it was.
It
It
was like,
really
because he
was.
was like 10 foot and he was just like, here, goes off left, rolls down the hill. And I was just like, just want to fly out to Sula and give Eric a hug. Like, it's
Yeah.
going to be okay. Like, we're
Yeah.
It's
just,
gonna be okay. Yeah, it was really hard to watch. It was really exciting to watch him play as well as he did
hmm
for a few rounds, and
Yeah.
it definitely hurt to watch that,
yeah,
that falling apart there. Um, but it is what it is. Again, like we said, everybody played on the same baskets. I'm
Yep.
not gonna go so far as to say this was like a Corey Ellis situation where he had a
No.
disc literally fall through the basket. It's not that. All right.
No.
Are these baskets the best design in the world? No, but everybody did play on the same basket.
right.
And it is, as long as we're going to keep having this conversation about standardized baskets, that's all good and great, but part of being a professional is going to be adjusting to the field that you're playing, whether that's the lines you have to hit, whether that's the wind you have to throw through, whether it's the chains on the basket you're throwing into. There's going to be variables at every single course, and the truth of the matter is that there could be variables even if we standardize baskets.
100%.
Oh
We
yeah.
might find that some of these baskets perform really well when it's warm outside, and then it's cold outside for an event, and all of a sudden those chains are too heavy or stiff and they're knocking people out.
Just
and
chain
then
shrinkage, you know?
and then
Yeah.
what are we gonna do?
I tried to keep a straight face, and
Yes.
I
You
looked
just never know.
Josh,
I looked down at Josh, and his eyes squinted, and I was like, ah, I lost it. I was
The
gonna
I
Jack
was
try to just
Nicholson
go with
from
it.
Anger
I was
Management.
trying I was
Uh
trying to agree
huh.
with it and continue walking through it, and then you laughed, and I was done.
You guys never know when it's going to strike, you
Yep.
know?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
But he did bring up a good point during one of the breaks. He was joking with Chandler and one of the other players in the card. And he's like, you guys have it all figured out. He's like, the United States system is incorrect. 32 degrees? What does that
Yeah.
even mean? He's
Yeah.
like, 0, freezing. Perfect. He's like,
Yeah. He's like
that's
boiling
it.
212. What? Like it does. He
Doesn't
said
make any
our
sense.
system is flawed. You know.
Yeah. I was like,
I
hey,
loved.
he is accurate.
Look, I
He is
mean,
his own commentator.
Yeah.
that's true. I mean, our system is flawed and all, but at the same time, I don't know that
Let freedom reign.
there's a difference between 92 and 93. you can feel that difference.
Well, this is why
I'll
I
tell
think
you
it's
what,
funny when
it's a
they're
more
like
accurate system. Okay, cool. I guess I don't know.
when they're
Yeah.
like, yesterday was 31C, today was 33. I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Is that good? Yeah. But
Yeah, all right.
I know very
Um,
little about
all you
any
need to
kind of
know,
Celsius except 0.
all you need to know about Celsius, if somebody says it's over 30, it's hot.
Yep.
Mm. What if
Yep.
it's
That's
over
all. That's all that
9,000?
matters.
And
It's
we
over 9,000.
we got to see over there while they were playing. Um, there was people in pants, there was people in long sleeves, there was people in hoodies,
Yes.
and we were sitting there sweating to death here in Tennessee, and
Oh my
you were
goodness.
in
Mm-hmm.
Illinois, and it was probably just as hot there. And we're getting to
Yep.
watch these people tee off, and we're like, huh, must be nice.
I
It
literally
must be
made a
nice.
Facebook post about
I
that. Yeah, I was
seen
like,
that.
I was like, dude, it's so apparently another fashion statement. I thought Eric's outfit was fine because I'm also of the shorts with long underwear variety, right?
hmm
Someone commented on the live stream and said, "You Americans will do anything to avoid taking your shorts off. Just wear pants." And it's like, well,
Look,
yeah, you're
I'm
not wrong.
sorry, but shorts have better mobility. Okay, it's
100%. Listen,
I'm so,
how am I
when
supposed to
I
wear my jorts?
look,
Okay.
Exactly.
I don't care what anybody says. When I'm playing slow pitch softball
With the
and
bleach.
it's 20 degrees outside, I'm still wearing shorts. You know what? I don't care. You could walk up to me and be like, "Are those yoga pants under your shorts?" You're damn right they are because
Right.
it's a lot more comfortable than wearing pants.
Plus
All
3
right.
flexibility when I wear my yoga pants to slow pitch softball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Plus three. And you know what? I'm sorry, but also like you run around the bases a couple times. I don't care what temperature it is, you get hot. All right. And I still got to have
Listen.
a little breathability down there.
Hmm.
Gosh.
My ankles are sweating.
Exactly. Like, come on.
All right. So I never thought that I would ever get into a tournament like this and be like, we got to talk about the last place finisher. But we have to talk about the last place finisher
Okay, you're bringing up
because
news to me.
for those of you who don't know, the last place finisher on the MPO side was Christoph or Christopher, who played Tormund in
Yep.
Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he finished
And
last.
he finished dead last. And you know what? I don't care. And he didn't care
Hey.
either. And for those of you who haven't, I actually haven't watched it yet, but I do know he was a part of the skins match that GK Pro produced. So make sure you go watch it. He's a character. He's definitely a hoot. I haven't watched it yet, but I can already imagine what I'm going to see. And I just want to say, I mean, how beautiful was that to have an international guy like that, a European, entering in the MPO field at a Silver Series event? I mean, come on. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just sad we didn't get to see him. Like, I know it would have been like rough to watch him throw a 17 over
No,
on
it wouldn't
coverage,
have
but
because
who
it would be.
cares? Because it's Christoph.
I've literally watched ourselves in editing videos, so I would be
Well,
fine.
I was gonna say,
It's-
yeah.
yeah, but I mean, like in professional coverage, to watch these guys go out there shoot 10 downs, and you've got Christoph shooting a 17 over, that would hurt.
Well, it's
But
yeah.
it's still the awareness that it would have brought to the sport to have him on a lead card. Such a
Mhm.
missed opportunity. So disappointed in that. But still, even without that, he brought so much awareness to the sport and brought a lot of vision
Mhm.
and outside eyes that normally wouldn't have watched anything like this or even
Almost
considered watching it.
Ravens eyes.
It's
So,
almost like,
So
hold the door. I mean,
the
what?
only thing that I could think of when they brought that up, because I do not kill me, anybody. I'm okay. I will watch it, but I have not watched Game of Thrones. And
oh,
and
this man.
but I have seen the meme of where it's like when it's a silent but deadly fart, and then it's him on the back of the horse, and then smiles just you
So,
know.
would you guys hear me out? So, as the marketing director for Lone Star Disc, I am proposing an idea to the Disc Golf Pro Tour to try and make them some more money. So initially, we had talked about doing our own Lone Star series and having concerts, right? And then they
hmm
introduced Corey Wong, very famous. Wolfpack is an awesome band. Freaking,
Right.
he's a very talented artist. And I go, okay, now it's time to introduce the next idea, which is celebrity lead cards. So
Yes.
before the MPO field goes out, or as the MPO field is at the end, you put out your Burt Kreischer, and Kristoffs and whoever else, and you have them just play a mic'd up round together at the very end to keep your viewers watching.
Okay, yep. And tie it
I'd be all
straight
over that.
over. You
Yep.
should
Just
do
go.
it. You
This is
should do it right before. Honestly, do it straight after the
Well,
FPO.
then they're gonna slow everybody down. So we don't,
yeah. Well, but
maybe we don't
Well,
want
what do you mean he's going to slow everybody down? He was already out there on the course this week.
that.
yeah,
Have you
but he was
seen
at the
Bert
end.
Kreischer?
Oh, no, he
Yeah,
was
have you
actually at the
seen Bert
beginning.
Kreischer throw?
Yeah,
Oh, he was.
yeah, he was at the beginning because that's
Oh,
the
that's
tee
right.
times. Yeah, so I guess it really wouldn't matter.
I mean, let
They
me tell
just give
you.
a 20-minute window rather than a 10.
Well, and
Yikes.
the last 2 or 3 cards are already split up by 20 minutes as it were to begin with. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, and those are the cards that you really, and but I don't know. The one thing is, as beautiful as these courses were, there were definitely some backups out there. This was a
Yeah.
tough course,
Hmm.
both of them. To be
The
honest, I mean,
OB.
It was kind of
I was surprised because one of the things that I had always heard about like European disc golf was not like natural OBs is just like that's what they go with. Natural OB, you might have one side that's but the more you watch of these European courses that end up on the tour, there's a lot of artificial OB on these courses,
It was
which
wild.
is
Like we'd
always
be
really
watching.
funny.
Yeah, you're like, oh, so Chandler. It was like, what's he gonna do here? And he like the first hole, he smushes it like 200 feet past the basket, absolutely
yeah.
smokes it. I was like, that's right. Look at how big this guy's arm is.
yeah.
And then
It's
like
like this
you
guy's
get to,
huge.
yeah, and then you get to the later
He's
holes,
huge.
and an area that I would assume would have been fair game, right? The tree line, I think it was one of the later holes, like 10 or 12 or something like that. There's a tree line that separates the basket. And you're like, well, if guys want to get and go through there, like that is hard enough as it is. You're gonna hit a tree, you're gonna kick, you're gonna take a stroke. But
Yeah.
to go through there and it be OB, I was like, I'm not the one who set up obviously the course because I don't live there and I'm not a tournament director, but that to me was like, okay, like how much
Yeah.
is too much? Like DDO, when you're like, okay, OB is everywhere.
Yeah.
Just here's
Everywhere.
16 island holes.
What
Yeah.
are, what are you what are you gonna do in Kansas though? I'm sorry, but like
There's tons of topography there.
Oh
te-
yeah.
yeah, when the
Yeah.
biggest hill is 10 feet tall, yeah, you got a lot to work with.
Hey, 10 feet to some,
Is more
mountainous
than
to others.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm definitely not 10 feet tall. So
I mean,
right?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not natively from Tennessee. So whenever Ethan, when we get together and we play or we're driving around someone, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's something or other mountain," and I'm like, "Bro, that's barely a hill."
Trust me.
no. I said we don't really have mountains. We have knobs. All right.
it's
So
he did admit that the most recently, but
okay.
earlier in
Okay. Yeah.
our
Maybe. Maybe. Maybe.
he's like,
Maybe.
"Yeah, that's a mountain," and I'm like, "Bro, that's a hill. What are you talking about,
Like I
man?"
live
It's
right beside the Spanish Needle Knob. You know,
you know,
it's
there's gonna be so many people listening to this like
Why does this
Spanish
sound
needle
terrible?
knob. What the heck is that? That sounds is that an innuendo? That has to
Um,
be, right?
I'm
it
so
is
sorry.
now.
But
It's
speaking of mountains, Sula was a very, very beautiful,
oh my
beautiful place.
gosh.
Norway in general,
Yeah.
just
I literally booked a trip to Colorado. On the tee box shot when they pan over and it's mountains in the water, and I was like, all right, I'm going to
yeah, it's
Colorado.
alright.
That's it.
I'll be
That's
back, maybe.
I'm gone.
that's all right. Well, if you haven't, go check out Casey White on his YouTube channel. He does something out at this place called Zephyr Cove
Hmm.
in Nevada. That's in the Sierras. It's in Lake Tahoe, and you could just go ahead and watch that video, and you'll be like, all right, I'm gonna go gamble in Reno and take a couple of detours to play some disc golf in Tahoe. It's
Zephyr Cove.
The reason he
Putting
says
it.
that is because that's home
that's
for him.
that's my home. Like that was one of my home courses, and it's really funny because you get outside of your home courses, and a lot of us don't realize how blessed we are with the courses that we have until we
Yeah.
leave. Like I never realized when I first started playing disc golf and I was playing these beautiful courses that we have, like Turtle Rock, which unfortunately burned down last year in a fire, was really disappointing. It's never going to reopen. I'm so sad about it. That was ranked for like 5 years running in the top 50 on UDisc.
Wow.
And Zephyr Cove is still in the top 100. There's a couple other courses out in that area, in Lake Tahoe area, that are up near the top 100. And if you guys live near a top 100 course, do not take it for granted because there's a reason it's in the top 100. You don't
Mhm.
get there without having a reason. Don't take your courses for granted because there are some bad courses out there, man. Every
There
now and
is,
again, you just get to a course and you're like, man, I never realized how good I had it.
but every course it can still be fun as long as you're throwing into a basket. It can be
I didn't say anything about them not being fun. I
fun.
just said
It's
they
just
weren't great
great.
Wow.
Yeah.
courses.
I've also
Look,
played some courses where it's so overgrown, you're like have to bring your machete to hack your way
Yeah.
to get your disc back. So
nope, don't
Or
like that.
there was a rundown course here, and the baskets didn't have a top. It was just a pole in the basket.
old school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Did they have like the metal like gong at the top?
no,
Those are
no,
cool. If you've
like they
never
were
seen
just
those,
robbed. Like
They're like,
it
we
was
need these chains for our
it was
snow
they
tires.
literally took the
originally like
basket off of the. Oh, okay.
exactly. They
That
took the
okay.
chain top
Well,
off and was like scrap
Nice.
metal.
I thought
Let's
you meant
go.
like old school. I don't know if you've ever seen like the old school gong
Yeah, like
style.
what are they called? Totems?
It's literally it's like
Tolls?
it's a
Toll? I
PVC
don't.
pipe that
I
you put
forget.
a metal like tube, a big metal tube, it's like
Mhm.
this big round, and you throw at it, and they call them gongs because when you hit them, that's how you hole out, and then they literally go boom. No joke.
I just that might not even make a sound.
That's no,
No,
that'll still make a sound. I promise. That's, um, but yeah, I mean, to give you a fair example of like those types of courses, one of my favorite courses to play, easily one of the worst courses I've ever played in my entire life, and it was only 30 minutes from Zephyr Cove. All right, you go down the hill into the Carson City area of northern Nevada, and it's just sagebrush,
I'm sorry, but
sagebrush as far.
A Knight's Tale 2 is the only thing that comes to my head. Jackie Chan. Oh, Carson City.
Oh, Carson City, yeah.
Carson City. Trying to get to
That's
Carson City.
That's okay. I mean, most people think of Carson City and Reno, and they just think of like old mafia movies and stuff like that.
Oh.
So, I think there's a really good movie actually that was filmed with what was her name, Dakota Fanning or something. That
Yep,
movie was
yep,
on
maybe.
Netflix for. It was
Sure.
actually a really good movie, but it was kind of weird. It's just
I don't know.
there's a what was
My
that
movie
movie?
knowledge is like ranked
There's another
Good.
movie, and I
here.
can't remember who it was, but it was filmed. It was filmed at a place called the Calneva in Lake Tahoe, which is
Mm.
literally the state line. So half of the like, if you go to the pool, there's literally a line across the pool, and one line is Nevada and one line is California. Like you can literally stand in two states in a pool at your hotel.
It's all I've ever wanted.
That's
Yeah.
all I've ever wanted. It's all I've ever wanted, Nico. um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so like that was one of my favorite courses to play. But literally, there's no obstacles. You're literally throwing. The worst thing that you have to deal with is searching for your disc for a half an hour because it got stuck underneath the sagebrush.
Mhm.
Like
No thanks.
it's a great
Yeah.
time.
I'll pass. See
That's
that kind of goes against the fun thing that I was,
yeah, but you know the cool thing
pre-mentioning.
about a course like that is you can literally throw any shot you want. You can do whatever you want because there's
At
nothing in the
least
way.
once.
And the other thing is like in that sagebrush too. Like I don't know if anybody's ever played disc golf in a sagebrush built course, but you have to know where your disc is going because if you don't, you will never find it again.
That's what I'm
Don't throw
saying.
light either.
You can throw
Well, I
whatever you want
usually
once.
throw and I close my eyes, so that would be a terrible course for me.
Yep.
Well, good luck. Don't worry, Zephyr Cove is like that too, but it's much prettier than just
That sounds
sagebrush.
like a great video. Sounds like a
Just
great
play
video idea.
blindfolded.
Yeah.
You have to. Oh my gosh! Put a blindfold on, or just rip it, right?
Yep.
And just figure out where it's gonna land, because you would have to know your disc,
You would
right?
have to, and
yeah.
you would still have
Ooh.
to execute. You know what I mean?
And
Like
then-
you.
And there's a chance.
Yes.
And then you also have to remember that it's still 5,000 feet there. So if you're not from elevation, you need to know your disc, but none of your discs fly how you need them to.
No, I'm done
No.
past the Nevada thing. I'm like already thinking like here. All right, we just need some blindfolds, and a course.
We're gonna have to see how good your amateur
Yeah,
most
loans.
of this
he's-
holding
All
on
right,
is
yeah.
first to
No,
see if we can.
Yes.
He's gonna sit there and he's
By the way,
gonna
that's
name a
good.
course.
By the way, just so everybody
and
knows, we're
he's
good
gonna
on that.
he's gonna name a course, and I'm gonna be like, you realize that on the best of days, of the best of your throws, you're not making that gap, and you're not finding your disc if you hit that first tree. And he's gonna be like, that's the course we're playing, and I'm gonna be like, I'm out.
It's for the content.
Do it for the content.
Yes.
Do it for the TikTok.
If you want to, go ahead and hit on FPO.
Yeah,
It-
FPO was not competitive, and then it was competitive. It was very interesting, actually.
Yeah.
So you had Anakin Steen taking down first place. Rachel Turton taking down second place, and then Katarina Stallison taking down third place. Their scores were 24, 26, and 43 over, respectively. So you could see that there was kind of like there's a little bit of a gap.
Yeah.
And Rachel really worked her way back from that gap. Honestly, the third day, she had to put in some work. She was like 8 or 10 strokes behind, and she had to get herself into contention. And she did a great job doing that. She got a little bit of help out of Anakin on the final round as well. Quite a few doubles, or just quite a few bogeys in general. But unfortunately, we didn't get to see a whole lot of coverage. So what I can tell you is what the leaderboard tells us, and some of the videos that we've seen, like top 5 FPO throws at Sula.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's just not much else that I can tell you. Without any names, as many of you know, a lot of people were questioning, well, there were no like States girls or even the big European women. Nobody really played. Well, first of all, Tatar battling injury obviously was going to skip out on that no matter what. So we knew she wasn't going to be there. All of the other women that you really kind of consider, from the US side, the turnaround was way too quick for them. I mean, I'm impressed, like thoroughly impressed that James Conrad did what he did at this event, considering he left Idlewild, flew there, and basically played everything blind. He literally did not play either of the courses beforehand. So outstanding performance by him. But a lot of the women, you have to think that they went 3 tournaments back to back to back, including USWDGC, which was not even on the MPO schedule, obviously. So you know, would we have liked to see maybe a few more women out there? Yeah, sure.
And
But
don't forget,
Leah, did she make it out? She didn't.
no, that's a far trip. So Chandler
Yeah.
reached out to us and was like, "Hey, like, it's airfare's not cheap. Let me tell you,
No.
man,
no,
airfare's not cheap." And so to fly
it's
out there was a lot. And to be honest, I had the same question y'all did. I was like, I don't know why a lot more FPO players didn't go. Like, it would have been competitive. The European Open is this weekend, so
Yes.
I'm sure they wanted to fly out and go get used to that course first.
Yeah.
The
yeah,
ones that
and
are
on
coming out here, obviously,
y-
we've got Master Worlds happening. Holly Finley, Owen Scoggins, a lot of these girls,
Yes.
Jennifer Allen, are want to compete there because they
Yeah.
can compete and win, and that was a close race too.
Oh yeah. It
yeah.
really
So
was.
and I mean 3 weeks back to back to back to fly out to Sula and not have any time to practice and then go to the European Championship.
Yeah,
That's a heavy schedule. If you take out the fact that they have to fly halfway across the world to do this and just say they went 3 weeks back to back and now they have a silver series the next weekend and then a major, and let's even say that was in the United States, there's still probably most of the women are skipping out on that silver series.
100%.
Almost guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. I mean, of just being 5 weeks on the road myself between C tiers, A tiers, majors, whatever. Um, it feels good to be home,
I
even though
can
I was
imagine.
home during the weekdays.
Yeah.
Going out on the road, again, shout out to the competitors at Junior and Master Worlds. I don't know if we were going to touch on that at all, but
We
Absolutely.
are. That's the next
okay,
topic actually.
then I will segue into that.
All
What
right.
a freaking holy cow, man! We were there for the beginning, and then we took off right towards the end just because we had to get back. There was a couple meetings that I had on Sunday that I had to get to in person here. Um, but dude, being able to see all the players, I was able to help out with the Disc Golf Hall of Fame. Shout out Andy Lehman Young for inviting me to help out with that, their audio and video. But being able to see all those people that came before us, right, that kind of paved the
Yeah.
way for us, where it's like these guys were literally throwing at poles or gongs, right? And we're sitting
Yeah.
here going, these dang baskets at these Silver Series suck. And you're like, they're throwing at a street light to be able to
They,
feel
they,
like,
they put tape around a tree and called that the basket. You just hit
right.
the tree trunk.
You're like, we sound so spoiled whenever they were like, yeah, I remember when we used to just take, just pink ribbon and that was the tree. That was the
Yeah.
basket. You're like, oh, okay. Probably easier to score though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest.
All right. So first thing I want to point out at the Masters World Championships this year is the one with the least amount of weight, but the one that might be a little more exciting for us here in Tennessee. The MP40 doubles champions were Dave Feldberg and Chris Orrick. For anybody who is here on the Knoxville side of the state, like I am, more affectionately known as KO. super exciting for him to go out and take down that doubles championship with David Feldberg. It's really awesome to see the state of Tennessee basically shining out there.
Yup.
Even if it
Shout
wasn't
out
the
East
big one,
Tennessee.
it's still really cool. So congrats to KO. Really excited to see you go out there and win. The rest of your doubles champions, FP40, Sarah Hokum, Jennifer Allen, MP50, Jonathan Baldwin, and Barry Schultz. What a surprise. MP55, you had Mark Shuttle and Robin Billig, excuse me, and MP65, Randy Beers and David Greenwall. So congrats to all of you. Into the other
Wait. Do MP50 again?
MP50 was Jonathan Baldwin and Barry Schultz.
Say
I thought
say
that
what you need
Johnny
to say.
McRae.
He won singles.
This is the doubles,
Oh,
man.
Yeah, Jen Allen.
okay.
So
I
I got
was
to
You
talk
think
wondering
you
with
think
who.
I'm saying two names for every winner
That's
of
what
every
I'm
division? Come
thinking.
on,
I'm
get it
like,
together,
First,
man.
I'm
baby.
literally
Where
like
are you?
not here, evidently. I'm like,
You're
what
in
are
another
you
universe.
I was so locked in to talk about it. Okay, just
Yeah.
continue on. Now
Yeah,
that
so-
I've spoiled everything, God.
I got to talk with Jen Allen on that doubles event. We
Mhm.
talked for like an hour and a half after the Disc Golf Hall of Fame. She had so much freaking fun playing with Sarah and just the banter they had back and forth. She was filling
Oh,
us
yeah.
in. And dude, shout out to her and Sarah for just having a good time. I mean, most fun wins typically, right? That's what they
Yes.
say. But they truly
Yeah.
went out there, competed, won, and had the most fun doing it.
That's why Big Germ and Paige always do so well in doubles.
Oh, yeah.
Most fun wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so
Now they're
checking
ruining the
back
next
onto
segment.
your professionals in the actual World Champions singles, the real event, the big dogs here.
Big dog?
FP40, Owen Scoggins
Yes. Dude.
took it in a landslide, my guy.
She could not miss a single putt. We were right behind the practice basket.
Nope.
And I'm just watching Owen. And she's
Just-
just bang, 60, 70, 80. And I'm like,
Are we ready to say that she's the best putter on tour? Like,
she has to
FPO?
be, dude.
I-
She is so consistent. I
she's
mean,
so good.
Well, I mean, we can't say FPO because she's.
'Cause she's
I'm
what?
sorry. This was the FP40 event.
I'm
I
saying
just-
it's
female
FPO.
professional.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I would
but it was
literally
not
say-
O. It's the 40. It's
It's 4-0.
I'm sorry. No,
Yeah,
but
4-0.
honestly, she's probably not the best circle 2 putter, although she is still deadly from that range. But circle 1,
I'm with you, Josh.
it's not even
Bro, I
close.
put money. If you put me in a room with Owen Scoggins versus
Anybody?
you name it, anybody, I'm putting a fat bill. I'm slamming. I'm taking my credit card and I'm banging my credit card on the counter. Give me
You know
all the
what?
money on Owen.
You're right. I take it back. I'll eat my words on this one. She's been but I know she was not the best circle 2 putter last year, which was where my mind was, but
She's doing.
she's leading
amazing this
the
year,
field
man. Yeah, she really
by
has
7%
done
make
amazing
rate
this
right
year.
now.
She
Yeah.
won my heart over with the Leopard 3 commercial she did for LVC. She's like,
Yes.
Leopard 3, it's beautiful. It flies great. What more do you need? I'm
What
like,
do you need?
I was like, this is fantastic. I was like,
Right, dude, I just loved watching Wake Up. They're like, "What's in your bag?" DX Destroyer, DX, and I know a lot of you are gonna make fun of me for throwing these DX, and I'm just like, you do you, man. Whatever feels great.
Yep.
I don't.
I
If
will
anybody's
love
making
DX.
fun of you for that, you just need to.
A lot of
Get
the
out of
yeah.
here.
a lot of the older professionals really cling to DX. Like,
What are you trying to say?
it's just kind of one of those things where they find comfort in that. I feel
Mhm.
like because where they started so young with that was what got so comfortable to them
Mm-hmm.
that now that they've perfected their form and their throw, they're probably doing stuff with DX that we can't even fathom.
Well,
You
it's
know
the
what I mean?
beat-in process too for
It
a lot of these
is.
guys. It's a champ destroyer or whatever. Oh my
Star.
God, Halo, a
Okay.
Halo destroyer
Yep.
is like way too much, and you're like, okay, like I don't really need that much. I would rather beat something in where I know what it's going to fly like.
Mm-hmm.
Our pros are the same way. They would rather take 20 discs and figure out which of those 20 are going to make their bag based on what they need the flight to be.
Yes.
And I feel like DX, now there's a bad side of it where it beats in too much.
Yeah. It's a
And,
different
yeah.
plastic than what it was then.
I mean,
100%.
even still, to be fair though, like if you're running all DX, one of the things I will say about DX is I find the molds on DX still tend to be more consistent than Star or Champion.
I will
So
get that.
if it if it beats
Because I
if it
know it
beats in
sure ain't
quicker,
champion.
if it well yeah, but if it beats in quicker, who cares? Because if you can go to any store and buy a new one for $10,
Yeah.
whatever.
I
If it's
mean, I
more
get it.
consistent, you can throw it out of the box and still know what it's going to do versus Champion Plastic, where you get 3 of them and they were all from the same run and they
Yeah.
all fly differently. Well,
Yeah.
throw DX.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Do
replace
it.
that than not know what my star
There
is
are
going to
so
throw.
many amendments to choose from, guys, and the
Yeah.
one that I would choose is the 5th in this one
Yup.
because I know a manufacturer that's pretty good about no matter what the plastic. New
About
Lima
that
Plastic live on Lone
consistency.
Star Disc site.
Yeah.
It just flies the
So
same. Doesn't matter what plastic.
so
Doesn't
we'll
matter.
get into that on the round a little bit. You'll
Okay.
see some of this. But I do have to go ahead and sprinkle in a little bit of um what? Of a little bit at least.
He
Well,
has something to say, but I don't know what he's going to say.
yeah,
I'm waiting for the sprinkling.
I was sprinkling. Um
There was going to be
and
sprinkles on this cupcake, and now I'm just
boom,
eating the
and
frosting
there it
without it.
goes. All right. For some reason, my phone completely froze, and I was not ready to try to recite an ad read without my phone. Okay, I was not ready to ad lib. I just need to ad read. But speaking of Lone Star, we're gonna go ahead and do our first ad read for Lone Star, and then we will continue on since we're talking about them. But first one. So this podcast is brought to you by Lone Star Disc. Lone Star Disc is a family owned and operated disc golf manufacturer located in Conroe, Texas. They pride themselves on being the only disc golf manufacturer that currently produces, stamps, and ships its own product directly from Texas. Their main focus is to provide consistent and high quality discs to golfers all over the world. Mic drop.
That was really good.
I messed
You
up
want
the
my job?
provide. I mean,
Yes,
yeah,
actually, yes, I do.
I was literally, yeah.
Yes, I would like that a
Yes,
lot.
yes, please.
So y'all take that one. Don't worry, this is coming in y'all's ears. Oh, that sound. This is going to be said many much more
You should have
times.
just run with it. It sounds worse now that you
Yeah,
paused.
I shouldn't have. My apologies. But yeah, this this will be said many more times. So
Yeah,
yeah.
take it for what it is. So back to FP40. um, thank you, Lone Star, for sponsoring this episode
Hey,
and
you
many,
guys
many
are
episodes
so
after this.
welcome. We're just excited to work with y'all. All right, we always have a lot of fun whenever we come on. So
So Owen Scoggins took that down, 22 down for the weekend. Jennifer Allen, 8 down. Stephanie Vincent with a 7 down coming out of Austin, Texas. And
dude,
Holly Finley with a 3 down. Those were your 1, 2, 3, 4s on FP40.
I'm gonna brag on Stephanie real quick. She is a freaking competitor, dude. She started off on the same card as our FP40 player Meredith, and Meredith again. Shout out to her. Meredith's a freaking rock star. She's our team liaison. She holds it down for me when I cannot. She helps me out with a ton of projects, and so being able to sit there and talk with Stephanie about how her round went, and she just kept a level head. She's like, "Yep, just gotta stay consistent out here. I'll make it, whatever." And so she made it on the lead card, I believe, for that final round, and killed it. She did a
Absolutely.
great job.
Do
Yeah,
we know
absolutely.
where any of this coverage is going to be? I know Ace Run Productions is doing some.
Yes, Ace.
Um, was there
Ace Run. I
anybody
think
else
that
out there doing anything?
I didn't see a
Man,
single
that's
soul. What
so unfortunate.
this is the hard part for us. So we believe so much in every aspect of the game. Obviously,
Yes,
we make plastic for everybody, but the female and junior side of things, and Andy would call it I can't remember what Andy calls it, but essentially the masters and juniors in general are the two most important divisions because the masters teach us how the game was played so we can make it go
exactly.
forward, and the juniors are playing the game and paying it forward.
Yes.
So the fact
Yes.
that Ace from Productions, awesome guys, they stopped by the booth. Shout out to you guys for doing the coverage. But I would have loved to have seen a Jomez or more more than just Ace Run, right?
Yeah.
And again, that's not a dig against Ace Run. It could have been a gatekeeper or just a Joe Mez, whatever. But this is huge. Like
Yeah,
somebody cover the
it's a
juniors, somebody
world
cover the
championship.
masters. Of course, it's massive. So,
I don't know.
and again,
We should have been there. We should have done
well,
it.
I mean, the biggest thing is for manufacturers like us, just to give you an insight, Junior Worlds is a free ticket for us to go. Hey, the new MJ18 champion. What's
Yeah.
he look like? Can I be on the ground? And so to not have coverage um, doesn't really help anybody.
No.
Like us being there. It was kind of unfortunate. So it was us and another manufacturer. I didn't see any other manufacturers that were present, and I'm just going, dude, like
Why?
Well, and
What? They're
it's a free like let's put it a different way
it's a
is that
clinic.
it
if you
is.
talk about baseball, for example,
Mm-hmm.
scouts in baseball don't
Scouting.
go to high school games. They
No,
don't. You know where they go? They go big tournaments because they can see hundreds of players at any given weekend and they can see all of these players in the matter of 3 days. And then
100%.
they pick the players that they're looking at and that's when they start traveling to high schools. They make it known that they are interested and then they go and actually follow these players around to
Mm-hmm.
other levels of the sport or whatever it is. But the fact that people aren't out there scouting the youngest talent in the game right now, that's
That's
so
like my
weird and
dream job
Yes.
surprising.
to be a talent scout. Like I
You're hired.
I
No,
all right.
he's like, no
I'm with it.
mess. He's like, no
I
mess. No,
I'm
yeah.
not even
Yeah.
letting you take it back. So no takesies backsies. I am
Yeah.
officially hired by Lone Star Disc as a talent scout. Go ahead and send me your
Yeah.
resumes. Uh,
Yeah.
at
I'll,
TN2's
I'll,
Ethan.
I'll send you some of this new Lima plastic. You're going to need it to see how the juniors are throwing.
Exactly. That's even better.
Yeah.
Don't worry, juniors. They're just scuffed a little bit from travel.
Yeah, they're just gently used.
I
No,
don't
I
know
mean,
what happened, but a sandstorm broke out in my trunk,
so
Yeah.
and
weird.
it's just
Yeah.
what it is.
No, I can't wait to
No,
get my hands on some of this. Uh,
I,
yeah.
this stuff, dude, it's like I feel like I'm turning into an old man. Like I'm not even in my 30s yet, right? And I'm sitting here and I'm like a 154 curl.
It's
I'm
like
gonna
I'm
throw this
gonna
thing
throw this
clear of those
so far.
mountains. Yeah, I'm like I can't wait.
Yeah.
So forehand has never been like my thing, right?
Mhm.
But I've recently been working on it a lot, and it's getting to the point where I'm kind of doing both really well. I was able to forehand a 134 or a 143 Victor or a Lima MIDI, and I just smushed it, dude. I mean, I threw that thing like 380 feet, like
Oof.
absolute crush with a mid range, and I was like, Lima Plastic's the greatest plastic of all time. Like, I'm
I
done.
love
The
I'm
it.
not going
bee's
back.
I love it.
knees.
Yeah. So
Um,
yeah, the stuff is
so
great.
All right.
as nobody really knows except y'all two, I went ahead and added some more Lone Star to my bag. Uh,
Oh.
yeah. So I was gonna go with the penny putter,
Hmm.
but it was so popular that it almost drove me away from it.
Really?
Yeah, because
Yeah, we're very like non
Oh, you guys
fad
are
type.
I
city
Yeah,
kids,
we're
huh?
yeah.
anti fad
Yeah.
people.
So like, and everybody in the disc golf shop. Now this is something that was really really cool. Um, so we were in the disc golf store, and uh, everybody in that store was huddled around the Lone Star section.
Mm.
There was 7 people digging through Lone Star section. Everybody, every single other manufacturer that had discs, no one was even touching. And I'm just like, I'm just gonna wait in line, I guess. And and there was some people that pulled out some walkers, some rangers, Texas Rangers, and there was a lot of people that were eyeing the penny putters.
Hmm.
Well, there was probably like 13 penny putters in there. By the time I got up there, there was 2.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, they're really good. I get it.
Hmm.
I get it. So I
So
I
money.
just flipped the tab and like jackrabbit. Huh, let me see this. Okay. It's got a little micro bead. I like this. Okay, it's like mine. So
Hmm.
and then I got the V2 plastic. So
Yep.
I'm like, it's a little bit softer. It feels nice. I'm gonna try it. So that is my main putter now. Did a whole round with it. Shot my best round ever.
Hey, there you go.
Out at Seven Oaks.
He says that every time we switch to a new putter, so take it with a grain of salt,
Is like
guys.
new I
That
have a friend
maybe
of
I just
mine.
continuously get better every time I swap.
I have a friend of mine that's local, and she switches her putter so often, and she's finally stuck with one putter after
Mhm.
months of being like, you just need to stick with one. She's like, but I putt better with these, right? So she's stuck with one, and she's all of a sudden become like super consistent. She's like dialing it in, just laser straight the best. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like you finally like found something and stuck with it. Again, a lot of people don't know.
Mhm.
It's a little known secret. It's not the disc, it's you. And if
Yes.
you are more consistent using the same stuff, you will get better. That's how that works.
But when your
Listen,
putter can look back at you
listen.
and make an expression, it's probably time.
Yeah.
So
You're
I
like,
had
oh,
I
Yeah,
had two
listen.
of them. One of them was a smiley. One of them was a frowny.
oh
Um,
no.
it just happened over time. I enjoyed those
Mhm.
putters. I'm not gonna lie, but I liked to be different. You
Oh
know.
yeah.
So, but now with the Jackrabbit, it took me a little bit because that thing's overstable.
Bro,
Um,
Leosin and Ginny crushes circle two putts with those. And I was like, hey,
I
more
figured.
power to you, girl.
Well,
Like,
it's helped me because I used to be kind of a nervous, not committed putter as
mm,
much with
commitment issues, huh?
with the yeah
Yeah.
with the Jackrabbit. It forces me
It
it
does.
forces me into putting where I want, and it really showed being more confident, and it's forcing you to be more confident.
Hmm.
So it's kind of a win-win.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, so
Mm.
what was
Well,
your
I just want
highlight?
to say
Okay.
before we
No,
get
go
too
ahead.
much farther, what I want to say is later tonight for those of you listening is we are going to be unveiling you know our first videoed round, and it was exclusively Lone Star discs. And when you had mentioned that it's not the discs, it's the thrower, I just want you to hold that same energy when you watch this video, okay?
Okay,
I
I
just
will.
I just want you I'm just gonna throw that out there. Hold that energy when you watch this video, okay? Just
Yeah.
just it's
There's some good stuff. There's bad stuff too, but there's
We'll
good
bring some
stuff.
pros out and we'll do a clinic whenever we come visit y'all. That sounds
Yes,
like what you need.
Yeah,
exactly.
oh yeah,
One of our
that's
pros,
exactly what I
Tanner,
need.
he'll just tell you, just throw it in the basket. He's like
Yeah,
a natural talent, so he's like, I don't know what you're doing wrong.
just throw it in the
It's
basket.
here. Just throw it in
Hey,
the basket.
Just throw it at the
you
basket.
just
It's
let us
easy.
know. We will make some content. We will do it. Anything
I'm
that
all
you,
for it.
I will look like a buffoon for some content. I don't care.
A
So
baboon?
yeah, red button all. So um, the thing that I was going to ask was, what was your highlight of your whole little round trip to Worlds?
Oh, dude. I mean, honestly, being able, so we always say this whenever we go out. So selling plastic is never a priority for us.
Right.
I was asked by one of our team members, you know, hey, he's going to school, and he asked me to help him out with this documentary. And he said, hey, here's 5 questions, hard questions I need you to answer about the company. And question number 5 is, what is the biggest thing that Lone Star needs right now? And I was like, literally just getting our name out there. The plastic is amazing. We have more machines than MVP had in 2020, right?
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and we have the team, right? Our team is so supportive. We support our team back. Our tent, we brought two 20 by 10s with a 10 by 10 for each of them. The 10 by 10 was literally just a hospitality tent. So whenever our players were done playing, they would come, hang out. Here's some fresh water for you guys. It's been sitting in the cooler. Here's a chair. Tell us about your round. For me, I love fellowship like that. Being able to
Yes.
hang out with your team, talk with them. I think honestly, between having the team there and then doing the fly marts in and of themselves sell 600 times more plastic than actually being at the event, but you get to connect with people on such a different scale because while we're there with the players, right? Nobody's really there at MPO and FPO.
Hmm.
Everybody's there to meet the players, and so
Right.
people come and they'll buy plastic. At the fly marts, people are coming to meet you. I signed like 2 or 3 discs. We had another guy come up. He's like, you're Josh, you're the guys from the video. I was like, our videos have like less than 3,000 likes on them. So
But
like
thank you for
we're
being
not,
one of
yeah,
them.
I was like, I appreciate that,
Yep.
and so it's just an entirely different atmosphere being able to go and hang out and meet fans of your product or fans of you, and then also having the support of your team. You can't beat it, man. It's such a fulfilling feeling. Now,
Right.
Did I get to meet some awesome, FPO, MPO, players? Yes. Being able to do, like I said, the Disc Golf Hall of Fame, amazing. Getting to hear the stories of the people that are now, in their 80s that are now being honored because, there's one guy, Peter Shive, who unfortunately right now is wheelchair bound. But he's like, yeah, like I picked up the sport like my late 40s or 50s. I was a professor and I was playing with my students. And all of a sudden, I just came really good at it. And the only thing that really drove me was like, I got to beat everybody now. And so he
Right.
did. He went out there and he just won. And he goes, I wish I would have played sooner, but I'm still thankful for the opportunity that I had, even entering at such an old age. So
That's so
uh,
awesome.
I love it,
That
man.
is awesome. And that's my favorite thing about disc golf as well is just like community vibes.
100%.
It's unreal. Like
Yeah, it's euphoric.
everybody just wants you to do good. You know what I mean? Like
Yes,
it's like one of the very rare occasions where you can go out somewhere and be competitive and still be cheered on by a competitor
absolutely.
and still want them to lose or still want, you know what I mean? Like it,
Right.
you never want to go out to a match and be like, "Hey, I want you to lose today." Right?
Right.
But you kind of put on a fake face for a lot of different sports. You know what
100%.
I mean? And disc golf,
Yeah.
it's not like that. Like they
For
truly
example,
want to
yeah.
beat you at your best. And
Eric
that's
Oakley,
so
when I was
cool.
watching those spit outs,
Yeah.
Eric Oakley versus Chandler Kramer, I'm watching those spit outs and I'm going, it's probably stepping away.
Yep.
I'm watching him spit out and I'm going, dude, I'm a Chandler Kramer fan because he's my friend and he's sponsored by our team. I'm also an Eric Oakley fan because I've loved watching Eric's content. I watched the Morning Coffee with the Oakleys. He did streaming just like us for a little bit. And so like I'm watching the spit outs and it's like a mix of emotions because like
Yeah.
literally 50% of my body is like, all right, that's a stroke that Chandler can get. He's gonna fight
Yeah,
back. And then like two
exactly.
seconds later, I'm like, Eric, man, like let's go. Come on, bring it back, Eric. All right, let's go. Like
Yeah.
you just want everybody to do so good. And so you're right. I think that's the thing that's gravitated me so much towards this sport versus other sports or things that I've done is
Mhm.
the true camaraderie where it's like, yeah, you beat me by a stroke and good job, dude. But you're like, hey, but I had some pretty great shots out there and you had some great shots out there. Like we just had fun. So I've never seen it in any entity sport. I come from the racing world. None of those guys, when they get beat in a race, are like, "Good job, chap.
Yep.
See you at the next one." Like nobody's cheering on their enemies, right?
Exactly.
It's the
Um,
wildest thing.
and while Daniel is stepping away for just a minute, I'm going to go ahead and go into our second ad read. Um, this ad is brought to you by Disc and Disciples, talking about community. This is one of our local communities in Tennessee. They have reached out further than that. But definitely check their schedule out on UDisc. They play PDGA sanction rounds on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Saturdays. Um, but it's free to play if you just want to come out, hang with them, have some fellowship, just have good community times. You can grab a Sanction League round pass or check out their gear at store.discanddisciples.org. They also put on several tournaments throughout the year to help fundraise for various causes, both in the disc golf community and beyond. So, please let me know if you would like a way to get in touch with them. I will put their links in the description and definitely go check them out. And thank Disc and Disciples for being another sponsor of this podcast. And we also have Daniel back. Welcome
And
back,
it's
buddy.
back.
I had to disappear there for a second. Sorry, guys.
Oh, you're good. It,
Figured you guys would be
so
well
is
off
it just
enough
me
to
or did
talk with
he
me.
change shirts?
Yeah, that is weird. Is it? Oh, there it is.
Same shirt.
I, you know, it's How did I not notice it was red? But it
Are you
when
serious?
yeah, when it came back, like I was like black, 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 and then it just really popped up on like the stream side on like red, and I'm like,
Wow.
okay, I got you. You're there.
Listen, your attention to detail knows no bounds. That's it.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Exactly.
Really well done, honestly.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, what else we got before we go into the uh Lone Star Disc only challenge? video.
Well, we still got about an hour's worth of coverage we still need to talk about here. So we haven't even finished with masters, and we haven't even started juniors. So we'll kind of go
BRB.
hopefully a
Yep,
little
got
bit
you.
quicker. Coverage MP40. Joe Revere taking down the win on MP40 with a 3 down. Martin Hendel taking down second place with a 2 down. Michael Johansson taking down the third place with an even.
MJ
AMJ out there doing some stuff. And then rounding this out with a fourth place was Justin Bonnell
from Tennessee. That's a local
from
boy.
Smyrna, Tennessee. So one more congratulations
Yep.
out there to
Shout
one of the
out to
Tennessee
Justin Bonnell.
boys. Well done, well done.
I don't know you personally, Justin, but would like to.
Yeah, you know, yeah. Hopefully we can get you on the show, talk to you a little bit. Who knows?
Yep.
MP50, as has already been spoiled beautifully enough. Johnny McRae takes it down with a 16 down. Really, really good stuff out there. Ron Converse taking second place with a 14 down. Barry Schultz taking also a tied for second with 14 down. Patrick Brown taking down the fourth place, just missing that podium finish with the 12 down. So congrats to you out there. FP50, your top three were Nova Polittle, Des Redding, and Tamara Coburn. Tamara was a little bit out of it. Des Redding had a chance to push for a win. Basically,
Man.
she could have just picked up a couple of strokes somewhere. She'd have been there, but it finished with Nova at 12 over and Des Redding at 14 over. So
Des was destroying for like the first couple rounds from what
Yeah.
she was telling me. She was doing
Yeah.
really hot, really well. So
yeah.
shout out to Des.
We'll go a little bit quicker for the next couple here. FP55, Susan Stevens took down the win. Looks like, I believe she had to do it in a playoff with Sandy Gast, who both of them finished at 17 over. MP55 taking down the win was Mike Fortin. Also had to go to a playoff, looked like, with Andy Ritter from Kentucky. So just friendly neighbors to the north.
Yes.
MP60 got taken down by Tim Keith. Well done. FP60 taken down by Pam Renicky. And then the MP70 was taken down by Johnny Seas, West Virginia, out there. MP65 taken down by Jay Gobrich. And then MP75, MP80 were won by Rick Hahn and Pete May, respectively.
Welcome Pete May to the Hall of Fame. He just got inducted.
I just seen his intro video and his win video out there in his yellow pants.
Yellow pants and the black cowboy hat, man. I told him, I said, listen, if somebody buys me a cowboy hat with Lone Star disc on it, I'll wear it every video.
Every video.
I will literally hey guys, Josh Ulster here. I'll do the whole thing. If somebody buys, shout out, if anybody buys me a cowboy hat with Lone Star disc logo, boom.
Don't
instant.
worry, I might know
I'm sure
a
we
guy.
can make that happen.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can make that happen.
Now
Even
I'm
though
worried.
you're in Texas, you would think it would be easier, but Tennessee's got you.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Hey, I'll take it.
I've got some friends from Wyoming that could help you too. The Cowboy State. So if you
Well,
really
okay,
want that.
bringing it out.
We'll take the Dallas Cowboys and put them out there because we don't want them.
Yeah.
So-
See. Oh.
You heard it here first. I didn't
Yeah.
say it.
Hey, this is gonna blow up now. We said the Cowboys in it.
Oh God.
Yeah.
1,000 people start watching the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is our year.
Over
to self.
in the.
It's really not. I would like to say that about the Titans too, but
Good luck. You
It's
guys just
never
got
our
rid of a bunch
year.
of good players, so it's
never our year. It's always so close to being our year.
Hey Titans, it's the quarterback.
wow.
what?
How dare you?
You said that? How dare?
I'm sorry. I might be a Tannehill hater, but
Listen.
moving on.
Yep.
Over in the junior division, you had Elkin Grow taking down MJ18 with a 38 down.
Woo!
Yeah.
Really spectacular play out there. FJ18, I'm going to say your hyphenated last name because I'm going to pronounce your other last name wrong. So Victoria Paul taking it down with a 12 over, beat the field by 14 strokes.
Yeah.
Hot round.
That's wild. Over in the 15 age division, Colin Bryant took that down after a playoff. They were at 33 down with Ryan Mulder. And in the 15 for the female division, Virginia Polkinghorn taking it down with an 8 over. In the
Mhm.
12, Haley Huber takes it down with a -20.
Nice.
Is that a typo?
I,
Some of
Like,
these kids were shooting hot rounds,
wow.
bro. It was wild.
Wow, beating the field by 26 strokes.
holy.
So if you guys
League
haven't
of her own.
look, if you
Literally.
guys if you guys don't have her on your radar, get her on your radar. I do have to call out though, it tied for second, Kaylee Pearson, Sparks, Nevada.
There you
It's
go.
just a quick 30-minute drive from my hometown, so good for you. Good to see somebody from Nevada out there because I know the competitive scene is not that strong there just yet, and I would like to see that change for sure. Over in the mixed division for 12, Hiram Hart taking it down with a 32 down total. Great play out there. In the 10 division, Oliver Beavers takes down the mixed with a 27 down, and Poppy Spriggs taking it down in the female division with a 28 over. Congrats to you.
Very
In the
nice.
8-year-old division, Tanner Graham taking it down, beating the field by 11 strokes with a 10 over. And in the female division, you had Hayden Harper taking it down by 50 strokes.
Woo!
Congrats.
Okay.
That's wild.
Yeah. And
I mean,
shout out to Tanner Graham, son of Matt Graham from the Nick and Matt show.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yep. So we had Nick on last week, and then Matt was off at Illinois doing the whole Junior
Yeah.
Worlds. Both of his sons competed, and Tanner actually brought it home. So
That's cool. He stopped by the booth. We had shipped them a couple of Lone Star discs,
Mhm.
and he's I don't know if it's a New York accent, but he's, oh man, yeah, these discs are great, and whatever. It was so
Yeah.
cool to like not know what I was throwing and whatever. I was like, well, dude, if you want to do it again, just like let me know. He's like, yeah, we'll talk. Super cool person. He does wear the double G
Yes.
jerky hat everywhere. He's like,
Yep.
they just keep sending me new ones, so I just keep wearing them. I was
Yes.
like, all right.
You do a very good impersonation. It sounds just like him.
Oh,
Yeah, it really does. But yeah, so shout out there and shout out to all the competitors that got
yes,
out there and competed. You did awesome.
absolutely.
Just
From
for getting out
everywhere.
there, being especially in the junior divisions,
Hmm.
getting out, competing, showing that you're not afraid.
Yes.
It takes a lot to just get out there and do it. And
Yep.
you know, some of these kids have probably already won a lot of tournaments locally, but getting on the stage, traveling, going, say this is for a world championship, that
Oh
never
yeah.
leaves your resume.
Yeah,
It will
no.
stick with you forever. So kudos to everybody involved.
All right. Well, we got some stuff to go over with European Open and President's Cup, but before we get there, we got a couple other things to talk about. Number one, I'm going to create some unnecessary drama because that's what I do.
Yeah,
That's
Daniel's
my entire
drama.
life.
Doo-doo-doo.
Daniel's
Oh.
drama. Do. Okay. So, interesting question. And this is the entire basis for this topic. Should protected division players be able to compete in multiple divisions, i.e., Owen Scoggins taking down a protected division world championship? This is a world championship, undisputed world championship in that division.
Yeah.
Should she be able to compete again in the world championships for the open division?
Absolutely.
I think so too, but I do see the debate, right? I see it because it she has a chance. She has two chances,
Right.
one as protected and one as completely open.
Right.
Hmm.
However, they're all going to get their chance as long as it stays this way. So I don't see a problem with it for now. But
Right.
if they start limiting players to where if you've competed in so many open champions, you know what I mean? They that would be very bad for them to do. So as far as I'm concerned, absolutely play as many of them as you want, get as many
Yeah.
titles as you can, and you know sail your boat happily.
Are you for or against this, Mr. Bacon?
Uh, I don't really have a particular like this is the way it should be type of opinion. I have an
Hmm.
argument for both sides.
Okay.
Right now, I don't foresee that the sport is at the place where it's time to start restricting that type of action. However, if the sport continues to grow at this exponential rate that we are seeing and have continued to see, it has to be a consideration for me. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And that basically just comes down to the fact that it almost seems unfair for somebody to go into a protected division like 40s and have to say, well, I'm playing up against somebody who is good enough to win the open division and will be competing in the open division, which
Right.
is the best players in the world, no age protections whatsoever. And it feels off in a way. You know
So
what I mean?
I know why. Okay. When MP and FP were all together,
Hmm.
age division, FPO, MPO, did you see any competitors competing in both an age protected and open?
No,
I don't think so, because they
no,
would be happening at the same time. So now that the sport has grown to a point and they've had
and
to
they've
split it up,
split.
now your topic becomes valid where you go, okay, like beforehand, you would have never
Yeah,
competed in MP40. Because honestly, I say this all the time. Anybody that goes out there and competes, FPO or MPO, if you're good enough to go out there and actually compete, it's anybody's game on any given Sunday,
yep.
right?
Yeah. Well, and
Um,
let's put it this way. You're talking about somebody who literally just took second place in the open division of the
yes,
women's US championships. You're talking the
100%.
second place had a chance to win an actual full open division championship now in all of the 40, and now there's a lot of players in 40
Oh,
who are
yeah.
going to be at world champions playing the open division, especially on the female side,
Because now they have an option.
right? And
Right.
Before,
I
when
know
the
so
option wasn't available, yeah.
and some people might bring up kind of like, something else. Let's say UFC, for example. Well, UFC, you can hold multiple titles at the same time as long as you continue to defend them. Sure, that's great. But the difference is that it's not age protected. It is weight
Right.
protected, but you have to modify your body to meet those weight protections.
That's
You have
it.
to go up in weight, you have to go down in weight. You can't do that in age protected divisions, you know
Found
what
a
I mean?
solution. Weight and height protected
There you
groups.
go.
6'4", 240 and above, me and Brody Smith.
M-
That's it. Everybody
Me
else.
and you're at the top, I'm at the bottom.
I'm in the middle.
Okay. The weight,
I'm-
we're pretty close.
yeah.
Okay. But the height, we're you're only like 72 inches taller. So,
I know you're never supposed to discuss a woman's weight, but this is vital.
yeah,
Okay.
this is vital. The
We need
Right.
this.
one thing that does kind of rub me the wrong way is if you did split it off to where you didn't allow
Mhm.
anybody that had competed in FP40 for a world championship to compete in FPO as a world championship, is you're basically saying that you have to be between 18 and 39.
Mhm.
That is another,
No, you're not.
but
And but that's the thing is you're not taking them away from playing open because that's the rule about open is that anybody can play.
I'm just talking about
However,
world
when
championship.
yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. Is like you in open division does not playing open does not require you to be under 40. You can be any age and play in
Right.
the open division. However, in the age protected division, you have to be there. And we're talking about the same title in two different divisions. Regardless of what weekend they're being played on, it is still the world championship
100%.
title. And that's where like it leaves a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. Do I think disc golf's at the place where they need to start restricting that? Absolutely not. Do not take this as a they need to start enforcing this right away. But if the sport grows to a place where we start thinking about it, in a similar way that we think about professional golf, it might be
Mm.
something that needs to be considered.
Hmm,
Here's another hot take. Do you think the PDGA is the PGA and that DGPT is the LIV?
Absolutely not.
I don't either. Um,
Okay.
See, the thing
strictly,
about LIV is you have to think about that they're making their own game with their own rules and their own platforms completely separated without any input at all.
and
How
Whereas
long do you think until DGPT gets to that point though? Because
never.
the way it's looking is the two are kind of going like this right now,
right.
but the line is slowly separating, and I think that in the next 10 years we can see something happen where it's going to go, okay, we don't like
Well,
that this rule got enforced, or we don't like that this. I think it's going to be a very interesting time.
one
But the
thing,
thing is that at that point in time that these events would no longer be considered sanctioned. And so it would, they could do whatever they wanted rule wise if they did that. But I don't think they ever would because it would detract from what they're doing right now.
Interesting.
um, So
Do I see another company like LIV coming up and saying we don't like the way disc golf is functioning right now and we want to change the stigma around it? 100%.
so
Is it
Right.
somebody who
so think
maybe
about it.
comes out of?
Just think about this, right? So LIV, Live, whatever, they came in, they started paying hundreds of millions of dollars to steal one player. Okay,
Right.
they could steal these players from the Pro Tour all for $1 million.
Don't even get me started on this.
It's just
Player, yeah.
money is where it's at, right? It doesn't matter if it's sanctioned or not, as long as people are
Right.
getting paid and people will
Mhm.
watch. That's all that matters.
100%.
Yeah,
It is.
but
Because
I just
anybody
don't
can come up with
see.
a rating system.
Yeah, that's true, but I just don't see, like, even in 10 years, I don't see disc golf being big enough as a standalone platform for that to have really been like a thought process for the Pro Tour
I
I,
want you to
to
I
think
don't.
about
separate.
So
how big the
me
contracts are for
personally,
the
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, but you have to think that those contracts are big because they have investors large enough and know that
100%.
they're going to recoup this money.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Even if
yeah.
this
You
flops, they have made so much money just in the conversation it's created
Oh,
that
absolutely.
it almost doesn't matter if it flops or not because they've already returned their investment. Disc golf is 30 years from that type of a
I
conversation.
don't think we're that far. I
Mm-mm.
I think 10 years or less, and I'll
I
stand
do
by
not
that.
think so. I
There's
don't
so
think so.
many people that are
If when you get see, and this is why I think this way is because when you get the disc golf pro tour on ESPN for 10 years, then it's a conversation. But we
right.
are still years away from it even getting onto ESPN as like an actual live covered sport. So when you hit that point, then you can I would be comfortable starting a 10-year countdown and saying this is going to happen.
Oh yeah.
But it has to hit that point first and we're not there yet.
I don't know. I'm gonna hold my remark with 10 years, but I think so. Um, so hot takes. That was a good Daniel's drama segment. We even got a little bit
That was
of
a good one.
Josh's jawing. Um,
Josh's joke
j-
time.
joke. Jo-
Josh's
um,
joke
Jaw
time.
jacking with Josh.
there it is.
Joke,
Jaw jacking with
Sean
Josh.
jacking with Josh and the thing and
Just
the stuff
joshing
and
ya.
the yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's just easygoing Ethan.
Oh, there it is.
Hi.
Stay positive.
That's right. All right. So
Oh my gosh.
what else we got, Mr. Bacon?
Well, we should probably talk about the WGE for a second.
Let's do it.
Yes.
All right. I know all of us have a little bit to input. Mine's a little more scripted. These guys won't be quite as scripted as mine.
I can pull it up
But
now.
please help me out.
Yes.
The ladies of Music City Disc Golf, which is a subcommittee from Music City Disc Golf in Nashville, Tennessee, are partnering with the WGE for an event that, if you guys don't know anything about the WGE, I'm going to let somebody else explain it a whole lot better than I can. But essentially, they are going to be providing an event called the FireFly Fling.
Yes.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. So the FireFly Fling, which is it's a very good name, to be honest.
Hmm.
They've done some really good marketing on this so far. I myself do not know a whole lot about the women's global events, so I'm really going to pride myself on trying to learn as much as possible, and hopefully all the
Absolutely.
listeners look into this as much as I will. Um, but the Women's Global Event is a biennial women's disc golf tournament consisting of smaller events run simultaneously on the same day around the world. So all of these women's global events are run the same day in different regions.
Hmm.
And from what I am told, is that you're competing against all of these different regions as well.
It's so sick, dude. It's
That
so
is
cool what they're doing.
wild. All right. So the mission is to offer a friendly, competitive event while encouraging more women and girls to be physically active through disc golf. Inaugurated in 2012 as a biennial event, the WGE continues to break records as the largest PDGA event for a single demographic within the sport of disc golf. That's huge. The 2021 Women's Global Event had 99 registered tournaments that spanned the world from Florida to Finland, Austin to
Yeah.
Australia, Cincinnati to China, with a combined turnout of 3,224 women competing in 23 different PDGA divisions. That is epic. However, that number grew by over 1,000 players from 2018. So in a 3-year span, they grew over 1,000 players.
Mhm.
So one of the biggest reasons that happens is because people talking, right? The word of
Oh
mouth.
yeah.
So that's what we're doing. The Ladies of Music City Disc Golf has hosted a biennial WGE since 2014. With the continued growth and recent popularity of the sport due to the pandemic, the PDGA Women's Committee has made the decision to host a WGE event yearly. So, the Ladies of Music City Disc Golf, which is our local club here in the greater Nashville area, um, they will they will have this FireFly Fling, and it will take place on August 6th as a one-day, two-round C tier at Cane Ridge Short. Um, so there will be 2 rounds on Cane Ridge Short. This is a very, very scoreable course. It's very fun. If you are a lady out there, a young, middle-aged, elderly, it does not matter. Go out there. You can have a great time. This course is fun. And this event is going to be awesome. Uh, we plan on being out there. Hopefully, I know that I'm going to. Um, Probably doing some interviews, getting some content out there for them. Um, but since the entire field, juniors to professional, must play from the same tee pads for proper calculation of the global statistics, Cane Ridge Shorts provides a great opportunity to highlight and challenge every competitor's game while keeping the event fun. In 2021, fun fact, 6 of our competitors placed within the top 10 of their division globally. 2 of them winning their global division. Alex Stewart, which is one of my friends in intermediate, and Sylvia Vokes in Pro Masters Women 70 plus.
Heck yeah, dude.
So if you have any questions, please contact Danielle Dobbs, or she is the tournament director for the FireFly Fling. And if you need anything else, just get with me, and I can get you in touch with whoever. But I would like to kind of talk about the event, like whoever come up with this, right, is a genius.
Yes.
It's such a good aspect, and
Oh yeah.
I'm glad the women have it. You know what I mean? It's such a good way to grow.
It's so good. WGE, man, I think their first year was like 2012 or something like that, and they only had 4 countries competing, and now they're up to 13 countries.
That's just wild.
Dude, I love seeing WGE events come to town. I had a friend that was looking to get into disc golf, and she's like, I don't really know where to start, whatever. And their first event was last year's WGE that was here in Houston, and holy cow, man, the player pack is amazing. I collect a certain putter from another,
Mm-hmm.
manufacturer. I just have, and one of those is the WGE putter from last year because they do a great job. We tried to get a bid in this year. Next year, I know we're definitely going to be on the list because we just missed the mark
Right.
as we were growing this year. But dude, WGE coming out, seeing these women all compete against each other. We have our own Lone Star Disc version. It's called the Space City Stars here in Houston that we're going
Right.
to be doing for WGE. And it's everywhere. It's all over the world, and you're all competing against each other. It kind of reminds me of like the Guinness Book of World Records, where like everybody's going to jump at the same time, and we're going to like calculate, and it's going to be the most people jumping at the same time. I love seeing the numbers each year because it grows so much. I think they said this year they had 153 women's only events ran last year. PDGA sanctioned women's only events. That's awesome. Like you said about Junior Worlds, it can be daunting driving all the way up to Peoria, Illinois from wherever you're going to. WGE allows you the opportunity to compete against women in your local area, meet other local women that play disc golf, and kind of get a better grasp on the community that we talked so much about earlier in the program.
Yeah. And technically, right, this could kind of feel like a world championship that is played all around the world, right? Instead of in a local, one singular location,
Yes,
it's
Yep.
literally like a worldwide event.
everywhere. It's so cool, dude.
That's just, it's awesome. It truly is awesome. But yeah, glad we got to touch in on that. They reached out to us. They want us to come out and do some content there, and help kind of spread the word. So hopefully, to
Yeah.
those of you that are listening, it's the same date for everybody. August 6th. Get on Disc Golf Scene. Get on UDisc. Look at your tournaments coming up, and get signed up and play this thing. And you just never know what might happen. You just might fall in love with the game.
I'm telling
Absolutely.
All right.
Grow the sport.
Hashtag. Got to do the hashtag. Hashtags grow
Hashtag.
everything.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
know about everything.
At least on Insta. So so all right. Anything else you got?
Related to that? No.
Nope.
No, you
All
guys
right.
did a great job.
Nice.
President's
Way
Cup.
to go, Josh.
Well done.
you. Go girls.
All right.
Powerpuff
President's Cup.
Girls. I mean, sorry, not a sponsor.
Cartoon Network
Yep.
declines to respond to this.
Oh yeah.
This has been flagged for copyright infringement.
Yep.
President's Cup.
Yes.
We're not going to talk too much about it. The biggest topic that I really have to cover specifically is Tatar dropping out of this as well as the European Open. Extremely disappointed to see that happen, but I'm glad she's taken her health very seriously. I mean, most of us were really hoping that this was going to be the event that we saw her come back at. And, you know, I really had Team Europe picked to win almost in a landslide until that happened. So now it's a little bit closer. I'm still going to pick Team Europe to win. I think this is going to be the year that they just break through. I don't know why, but I mean, Simon, Niklas, Lari Lettinen, Albert Tom, just it feels like their year. They've got a solid team for the first time. I've really felt like looking at this team that there was a competitive chance to win.
Yeah.
And they've never won before. But it just, I don't know, it just got that feel. What do you guys think?
Team USA.
Listen, Jeremy
Sorry.
Colling is the captain of Team USA. They got a lot of heart, okay?
Oh,
If
yeah.
we know anything about American teams when we're facing European countries, are you kidding me?
Listen, they've got Ricky Wysocki, Eagle McMahon, Paul Macbeth, Calvin Heinberg, but don't worry, they've got a lot of heart.
Four future Hall of Famers.
Ow.
And you're going to tell me. And you're
well, don't forget Paige Pierce and Katrina Allen, okay? Let's
okay, done.
No. Wait. Let's just count up world titles. Okay? Let's just do that. So, Ricky,
No.
2. What? Don't you no me.
No.
Ricky 2, Paul 5, James 1, Paige 5, Katrina 2. So what? 7 and 7, and
that's
then
like
1. So 15.
More than 10.
They have more world titles than they have players. It's fine. So
you got Eagle McMahon at 50% though. You got
Daniel,
Ricky Wysocki.
I want to ask you a question.
Questionable health as well.
Do you know what the term world means when he says world title?
Right.
I don't know.
No clue. Absolutely no clue. You know, it's really funny that you bring that up, considering we just talked about the fact that you can win 2 world titles in the same year.
Exactly.
But none of those were counted in this in this algorithm.
Yeah. All I'm saying, listen.
Who of that entire pool is playing in MP40 yet?
Nobody. But that doesn't matter because it's not even available. So therefore there's nothing to talk about.
Listen, in my mind, I know that Team USA is going to win, but I am an American man, but I just my heart I don't know that it's I know they're going to win, but I want Europe to get just one win in this event, man, because they've been swept so far.
Do
I
you,
get
do
it.
They've
you
been
understand how the
swept so
Olympics
far.
works?
I just, you know what? I don't. This isn't the Olympics. Get out of here with
All
that.
I'm saying is, every time that the Olympics happens, there's pretty much some guaranteed gold medals.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
and all I'm saying is,
Are
Europe
you
has some
saying that?
amazing players.
They
Are you saying that
do.
Europe's
They
not
truly
getting gold
do.
medals?
Not
I was
in
gonna
this
use the United
President's
States.
Cup.
I'm not. I'm not gonna call you out, but I'm calling you out. All right.
All I'm saying is, all I'm saying is, a lot of confidence. Jeremy Colling has a ton of passion.
That's
He knows how to
right.
motivate a crowd. Okay, uh, you're talking about Richard
Wysocki.
Wysocki. Okay, coming off
Richard
of
Photobomb Wysocki.
coming off of a Texas State win from earlier in the year, coming off of a fresh, refreshment. He said, I'm going to take off these next two events and come back in so I can dominate Europe. Okay, he's basically Captain America. Look at the hair.
Yeah.
Let's be honest
Yeah.
here, okay? All I'm saying, he won Texas State's. He's got my vote. Texas-based company.
There you go. Technically, Germ is
That's
Captain
not even.
America.
No. Listen.
No, I
Before
mean
we
like
talk
he
about
is the captain of
before we talk about
America.
Texas State championship, it's not the Texas State championships. I don't care what anybody says. It's the Ricky
Don't even
Wysocki
get me.
championship.
It's the
Don't
Ricky
even get me.
Wysocki Championship.
It's the
Don't
Ricky Wysocki
even get me
championships.
started. Why is the Texas State Championship include all of the other people that want to compete in it? Shouldn't the Texas State Championship
So
be for
that's
the
one
women's
thing
section?
that I've
I've never really got that either.
I'm-
Like, why is it
yeah.
on the? Why is it a pro tour event? It's the Texas State championships and it's the
Now,
pro
I'm all
tour.
for it, right? I'm all
Right.
for
Yeah.
calling it
gets.
whatever you want.
I do
So
wish it had a different
the
name, but
Ricky
if you're saying Texas
Wysocki.
State,
Yes.
it's for the Texas people. But
Yeah.
it's commonly known now that it's just not. So
State.
it's
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 it's the
whatever.
Ricky Wysocki
Oh,
championship.
it's
Can
okay.
we can change
Yeah.
it to the Ricky Wysocki Memorial Championship, and people are going to be like, "But he's not even dead," and I'm going to be like, "I mean, he's going to die
Yeah.
someday, and he's won this 35 times." So
What you guys haven't seen is it's Texas apostrophe states. So it's
Right.
Texas is. So it's all the other
Texas
people coming.
Makes
Got it.
sense.
Because
Got
we own
you.
the rest of the states.
Totally
wait,
missed
does that
that.
happen in? Is that how the high school football championships work in Texas too? They just let like all the teams from Florida and California come and enter that.
I'm gonna be
I'm
honest.
just wondering.
I would put Texas football up against like 90% of the rest of the United States. Texas football down here is. I'm from Chicago. When I came down there, like we do 2 days in 115-degree weather. You're getting cut, and I may not be able to pay you to come play for my school, but if there's some incentives, we'll figure it out. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay.
Listen,
like,
I might not be able to pay you to come play to the school, but that doesn't mean I don't have an offshore account that's not linked to my name.
That doesn't mean no homework for the rest of the year.
I mean, Arch Manning chose the right decision. Okay. Okay.
Mhm. Trust me.
Yeah. I'm sure that's a big talk around town.
It was so funny watching that that whole feed after that announcement came here being, 20 minutes from UT.
Mhm.
And just watching like the feeds and everybody and blah 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 blah. And I'm sitting here like, you guys realize you have like a 5-star recruit, like literally the
Yeah,
third best
Nico.
quarterback in the entire nation that is already committed and has literally been on campus for like half a year already. And so you
It's
didn't get
the
Arch.
name.
Okay.
It is the name.
Yeah.
I know.
But-
Well, and you get Peyton and everybody was like, well, Peyton did this for us, so Arch is going to do the same thing. And and I'm just like, you know what?
Not this
You're
time,
telling
champ.
me
You know what? You don't
you
need
tell me
that hype.
you tell me Matthew McConaughey is going to get to be one of my coaches? So
All right.
I'm there.
All right, all
You're gonna
right, all
kick this
right.
ball. You're just gonna run it right up the gut.
There you go.
All right.
All right. Okay.
All right, so we got 2 of you on Team USA. I'm on Team Europe just because it hurts me to watch them lose every year.
Right. It
I'm
feels good to be
sorry.
on the winning
Now,
side.
if they
mean,
win,
what?
if they win this year, I will promise to go back to supporting Team USA for the next 10 years.
No,
Did
that's
this guy
that's
not just
But
call
they need
Texas State's the Ricky Wysocki Memorial, or could I? I just hate seeing everybody else lose.
was-
Ricky
that was-
dominates, bro. Like what the heck?
I'm saying that it needs to be renamed. I'm not saying I enjoy it. Okay, it kind of sucked. Like, let's be honest. If I'm entering anything in the Pro Tour next year, let's say I just magically hit 1050 rated next year. You know what event I'm skipping? You know what event I'm skipping? I'm 1050 rated and I'm skipping Texas State next year. I promise you.
Wow.
I'm not even. Nope. Not about it.
I'd go.
I don't need to be embarrassed just
I
because
would.
I know he's gonna
I would
win. I
totally
go out there,
finish
go
last.
out there. I guarantee you, I could go out there and somehow manage to throw 4 straight 1100 rated rounds, and somehow Ricky is still gonna win.
True.
It's
He'll
just
throw a
destiny.
1200 rated round.
Yeah, it's
Just in
just
your face.
destiny.
Just because I acknowledge the truth doesn't mean I have to like it.
That's
Right?
true.
You're putting words in my mouth by saying that I enjoy it or like it, but that's
Whoa.
not what I'm saying at all.
The words were, I hate seeing people get dominated. And then you were like, but Ricky Wysocki, no problem. Take it all the way.
Yeah, and I hate it.
swear.
I hate just because I acknowledge the truth doesn't mean I don't hate it.
I get it because Ricky's on Team America. He has to be like, okay.
Right,
It's-
right. That's what it is.
Yeah, Ricky is the reason that I don't want the U.S. to win. Okay.
You're like, he just wins so many Texas states. He might as well win one.
Yeah, he might as well just do it by himself. It's fine.
Yeah, he's the captain and the team.
Yes.
All right. Well, speaking of Ricky Wysocki, who's winning the European Open?
So is that your pick?
Oh,
Because it's not mine.
No,
Okay.
it's absolutely not mine. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go against everything that I just said about the President's Cup, and I'm picking Paul Macbeth.
dude.
Everything that I just said, wash it from your brain because I just picked Paul Macbeth. Okay,
Oh my
dude's
God.
dominated.
You're the worst. You know that? You're the worst.
I know.
He's a
Okay, he's
flammable
not.
sandwich.
He's
like,
he's not my real pick, but it was funny. Okay.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna be honest.
anyways,
A fresh Simon Lizotte
That's
coming off Portland Open, he's playing more consistent. He's not going for those big, sky hyzers, Simon shots that we know him for.
well,
I think Simon has a good chance, dude. His rating says so too. He's been sitting there climbing up.
oh yeah.
Everybody else, I think it's funny when people are like, well, Eagle's still top 3 in the ratings, and I was like, Eagle hasn't played an event all the way through in like
A year almost. Yeah, since
Right.
Vegas.
again, if he's top 3 in the okay, that's great. He doesn't have any rounds to bring his
courses.
rating down, then his rating's not going to go down. Like,
Did he play at DDO?
For like what, a round and a half? But
He
it
did?
got
Okay.
dropped, right?
I think so.
No, I thought he dropped from Jonesboro and then didn't.
It
play
may have
again.
been Jonesboro,
Right.
not DDO.
He
Yeah,
dropped
yeah.
from Jonesboro.
That's
and
what
so you're
it
just
was.
going, some of these guys, their ratings are getting eaten up. Where's Matty O at right now in the rating? Oh, Matty O's not even going out there. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. He's
Well,
too busy. He's too busy rolling the tide to worry about.
Dude,
European
Matty
stuff.
O. His father actually just got inducted in the Hall of Fame. He had a little touching video
Yep.
for his dad.
That's cool.
Um,
Because Matty O had been boycotting the PDGA until that happened. So
I thought he was the drama guy. Where did you?
yeah, well, I'm just bringing that
I
up.
can't keep up with every tidbit of drama.
Yep. So
Jim Oram
yeah.
literally said to his kids, he said, if I don't make it into the Hall of Fame before I die, I don't want it.
Yeah.
What he said, and I think he passed away this year or last year, right?
That's so crazy.
His other son was like, I know he didn't want it, but he'd be ecstatic if he was here right now. And I was like, well, that's awesome, man. Like, thank goodness they were there to present it. So
I'm glad.
Yeah,
that
I mean, say what you want. We all know that if he were here today to accept it, he would have.
Yeah.
oh, dude, what an honor. For people that are watching at home, Disc Golf Hall of Fame is truly the highest honor, right? So once you finish winning your 7,000 world titles, your Paul Macbeth, you're going to dominate the European Open for the next 40 years. Because do they have age protected at European Open?
I don't know.
No, thank
Okay.
goodness. I was about to say, Paul
about
Macbeth's
to
going to
say.
win it.
Oh my God.
But no, so once you get done winning all your titles, man, being inducted, being joined along, it's kind of like Valhalla. Like you're there with all your Shield brothers, and
That was such a good.
I
see what you did there. Go ahead.
well, I told Andy, I said, eventually in the future, it's going to be content creators like us,
Yeah.
right? We won't be known for being the best at disc golf. Like Jim Oram wasn't known for being the best at disc golf. He was known for being the most hospitable.
Yeah.
Always going out of his way to take care of people, talk to them about the sport, welcome people in. He was selling discs out of the back of his car before it was like a thing, right? And so in the future, it's going to be people like us, right? Where we were
Right.
known for hosting podcasts or going out. Terry Miller, perfect example, right?
Oh, he's paved his way. Yeah.
He's going to be in the Disc Golf Hall of Fame in no time, right? So you have to be
Yep.
45 years old and have played disc golf for over 15 years. I know for a fact that if he goes up for ballot, I'd vote for him because that's one of
Absolutely.
he's the reason why we can do this, right? He is the disc golf guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for sure.
He's kind of like the content founding father.
Oh,
Yep.
absolutely.
So, yeah, huge props to him. So, let's go ahead and get some picks. All right, I've got 1, 2, 3 set out for all of us. This is going to be our new. All right, and you, whenever we have you on, Josh, you'll just continue with this number. But,
Oh,
but this is going to be a point system. It's
He
basically,
doesn't want to include it after the last time around.
yeah,
why?
exactly.
Because I won all of
Oh.
it because I'm so dang good at disc guessing. Is that
Oh, the disc guessing, like
That's a
that's a
totally
totally
different pool.
different one.
This is
This one's just
this
for the
is predicting
picks.
winners.
This is just
So he's
predicting
just
winners.
mad because
all we're doing?
my dark horse hit the win.
Yeah, he picked Isaac Robinson to win.
I was like Birdie
As
Well,
Smith.
dark
I
horse.
picked him
Yeah.
as he was my dark horse
Did I
pick,
just
and then
say
he took
dork
down
horse?
the dub.
I
Yeah,
did.
you sure did.
That's weird.
I'm telling Isaac.
Oh no.
I don't know him like that.
Yeah. Well,
You don't know me.
maybe. But yeah.
Dude,
All right.
I'm sure I'm gonna get
Maybe.
to know plenty of people. I'm
Oh yeah.
meeting so many people already. It's wild.
So, Josh, you want to go first on your picks for
For
MPO
European Open,
for the European Open?
I'm gonna go Simon Lizotte #1.
All
He's
right.
bringing it back to Europe. He just got interviewed today and said, "Hey, I was here at 17 playing with mother flipping Ken Climo,
Yep.
playing with Dave Feldberg. I was on the lead card at 17. Y'all ain't got nothing on me." Okay.
I'm with it.
So
Right.
yeah, I would say Simon Lizotte for my pick for sure.
All right. You got a second and a third? Or you just gonna leave it at that?
I do. I'll take Paul Macbeth in a close second. What's going to
Okay.
happen is the injuries that we've seen plaguing him, his angle
Mhm.
control we talked about at the Portland Open, things are starting to slow down. I wish him all the best. I'm not saying that he's
Yes.
done because he's Paul Macbeth. He's got the clutch gene, right?
Absolutely.
I think Paul Macbeth is going to come a close second. And man, I got to give it up to James Conrad. The dude
All
has been
right.
consistently doing well. I don't want to call him a bridesmaid, right? Because he's
Right.
hardcore. MVP's been releasing a ton of discs or been supporting him with all his discs. They just announced one of their new releases as well. Starts with a V, I think, or something, whatever. It's basically an 11.5 negative 0.52. And that's something that he's needed in his bag for a long time. So,
The
yes.
Volt
No,
or
it's a new.
the Venus. Venus. I don't remember, but yeah.
I'll find it.
I've seemed like I have seen it, but I do not remember it.
They just announced the video today, I believe.
Right.
So I'll look it up.
That is a good question. All right. Well, Daniel, what about yours? I know you're picking Paul.
I'm going outside of the box here a little bit, actually. So picking to win, Calvin Heimberg.
Okay, Vinny.
It's the
Calvin,
Zenith.
The Zenith.
Calvin Heimberg
Okay.
kind of has this weird thing going on where, like, earlier in the season, he just was nowhere to be seen, and then all of a sudden, he just turned into an absolute monster.
Yep.
And I
for
kind of
sure.
feel like we're in the second iteration of the same thing right now, where he's just kind of been, he got that win, and he's been real quiet, really, really quiet. And for some reason, I just think he's going to put it all together this week. Might even be his last win of the year. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to pick him to take that down. I am going to follow suit, though, and take Paul Macbeth in there at second. I'm kind of on the other side of the coin, though, where you were kind of saying like the injuries are racking up and this, that, and the other. I saw a lot of things that I really, really liked in Idlewild, where he started to really have angle control back. He had a lot of his power back, and he looked much better. I think his mental game still is leaving something to be desired, though. So he needs to pull his mental game together. I liked that he was returning back to his older putt when he was at Idlewild. Whatever was going on
do
with his
like
putter
that.
for a couple of weeks there was awful. The Greg Barsby thing he was doing for there was just bad.
Yeah.
But he's gonna have some mental things to overcome if he wants to take this event down. And coming in third, this feels really bad to. I feel like I'm just pulling off of other people's picks now, but Simon Lizotte.
All right.
Oh, Simon the Third. That's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Yep. Yeah, it is.
I-
it
Simon
is.
the third with as dominant as he's been.
I very truly believe that all three of those could all finish within 2 strokes of each other, though.
Yeah.
Listen, Tyler Cox in the comment section. Shout out Tyler. He always helps us out at events. Great team player. Guy's awesome. He's got an arm. He says I got good picks and that I'm the homie. So
There you go.
what moral grounds do you have to stand on, Daniel, behind your picks? Besides the fact that I agree with most, if not all of them.
Listen, Linda, all I have to say is that I'm just a guy sitting in his mom's basement in East Tennessee. So my picks mean nothing. That's my moral standing ground.
Oh no.
Oh, God.
Really, the most clarity happens when you're completely out of touch.
Yep,
So, you know.
yep. Well, I'm just gonna
I
go
thought
ahead.
I'm pretty well in touch with where I'm at right now. What do you mean out of touch?
Yeah, it's pretty.
I'm
it's
just
pretty
gonna
on
go
point.
ahead and drop the hammer.
Oh,
And I'm gonna say Eagle McMahon wins it.
really?
I can't agree with it.
God, that's a terrible pick.
Not after what I saw and what I know from the Simon vlog with him in it.
Yeah.
This course is too brutal for
I'll give you double the point.
not
If
having
you
what
get
it
this
needs.
one, I'll give you double points because that's a true dark horse pick right there.
It really is.
Like,
I had
holy
no
cow.
intention.
he can't be a dark horse because he's Eagle McMahon,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's
Exactly.
a dark horse pick.
Dark
Yeah.
Eagle?
Dark Eagle. There you go. No, I really didn't have him as my number one. But I would like to see him do well. I actually, I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
So in third,
Build up.
Yep.
I like it.
Mine is kind of off the wall, anyways. But
You're off the wall 50% of the time we do
yes,
this.
Yeah, what the
so
heck?
I'm gonna put Chandler in third. Yep. Yep. It's yep. All right. Putting Chandler Kramer in third. I'm putting.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I had no idea that he was competing, which is very sad because I should have known that. My apologies, Chandler. I think Chandler can take third also as well.
Well, we'll bump James out and put.
I literally
Chandler.
thought in my
For
head.
not knowing.
I know. Again, that's on me. Him and I have never talked about European Open, like
Yeah.
ever. I talk to Chandler. I mean, very often. He'll call me on the phone. We'll chat for 10, 15 minutes. I didn't hear him once say European Open. It was always about Sula. He was always so excited to play Sula. Now that I'm seeing his name, do you guys know what his average event rating has been?
It's well, he has already moved up to 64th in the world just after this past week. Like, holy.
Consistent. He had a 10 points at
Yeah.
1,000 above ratings boost per month. He's been consistently hitting 1040s
Yeah.
in his event average rating. Chandler has got it, bro.
Yep.
He is finally going, hey, I'm here. He wants to show up. He was battling an injury at the beginning of the season. If you look at the ratings right now of the people that are playing, oh, God. Dude, he's so close. He
Yeah.
shot a 1080 and a 1079 rated round the past 2 events. That's wild.
It is wild. He's got it. I truly loved watching him throw. So
Oh, yeah.
that was the reason that he made my top 3. And then in second place, I have Ricky Wysocki.
Ooh.
I think that he does make it close.
Just tell him it's Texas State, so be like, I'm
Exactly.
there.
Exactly.
I'll just win it.
I was able
It's
to
fine.
take Ricky because of
It's going to be really hard to convince him it's Texas State if somebody telling him it's Texas
Ooh.
State says it in some European language, though.
Is it?
Is
Hear me
it?
out. Is it that he's going to lose this cup and have vengeance on Team Europe and say, I'm going to dominate and come in second place? Who
Yep.
knows? At the European Open.
Yep.
President's
Maybe.
Cup. Here's the thing. This is one of the interesting things about this tournament is the President's Cup holds a lot more weight into what happens right afterwards than you really think about because, if I'm right and Europe just comes out and finally just breaks that wall down, a lot of these U.S. players could be coming out Thursday with just an absolute, or Friday, excuse me, with an absolute vengeance.
Was that a
Yes.
Berlin reference for
No.
breaking the walls down, or?
Maybe
Is this in Germany or is this in Finland? Get it together.
But I'm rounding this off. All right, Paul and Ricky are gonna have an epic tie and playoff,
Okay.
and Paul's gonna take it down.
You know, I
So
considered giving Calvin and Paul a playoff, and then
yeah.
I was like, but if I feel like if they, I had to back away from that because after Jonesboro, I feel like if Paul got into a playoff with Calvin, he would not lose again.
Yeah, that's what I'm with it. I think Paul, it's kind of hard to go against his track record with European Opens. I mean, he's
He's a
kind of the Ricky of
monster out
Texas
there.
State, so it
It
is.
really is. It's not a joke.
It's
It's
like
going to be
that.
the Paul
So
Macbeth Open someday.
yeah,
The Paul
Listen,
Macbeth
all
Memorial
I'm gonna
Open.
say is eventually Michael Jordan went to the Magic. Okay,
the
that's
Paul
all I'm gonna say.
McMemorial.
All right. Eventually, Michael Jordan stopped winning titles and went to the Magic and said, "I'm on Orlando now, baby. Check out this sweet mustache I'm gonna grow out."
Look,
So
Yeah,
if you
that's
guys
true.
if you guys want to sit there and say, well, you guys are crazy for everything that you're saying right now, this is all I have to say. Okay, Paul Macbeth, McBeast, playing at the Beast.
a well-rested McBeast.
He
Yes.
knows what's going on. All right, I'm
Oh
just
yeah.
saying.
All right. So moving over
But
to
I couldn't
FPO.
pick him to win after that that President's Cup argument. That would have just like
Like,
it would have been really bad if I had picked him to win. I
anyone
wasn't
but
gonna pick him
Ricky's gonna
anyways,
win.
but
Yep.
I don't even think
So
that necessarily. I don't.
let's hear it on your FPO. Josh,
Oh
you want to go
yes.
first or
I
Daniel?
would love to go
All
first.
right, Josh, you
Mm-mm.
got it. The
Let's go.
floor is Josh.
All right. I have like a multiverse theory
Okay,
here.
I'm with it.
If Evelina Salinen's putts go in,
Mm-hmm.
if Evelina Salonen can reel in her putts, dude, she's a monster. She's insane. She's dominant.
She's the
But
best
she's
thrower
missing
of the discs, probably.
100%, and
And
she's missing those 5 and 10 foot putts, man. Her circle
yeah.
one percentages are low.
To say the least.
I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate because like it's such a big thing for her that if she just corrected that one thing,
Mm-hmm.
dominate just
Yeah.
instantly. So
Well, and
I'll
that's the thing about it too is like at this point,
yeah,
USW DGC gave us a good glimpse into the fact that it's not her form that's the issue
for
anymore.
sure.
Like it is 100% her confidence. When she walked up, stepped up to a putt confidently, it didn't even matter how far it was. The distance had no relevance to the putt. It was 100% about her confidence when she stepped up to that putt.
Right.
That's true. All right, so I'm gonna keep Salonen in third place.
All right.
I'm gonna keep Salonen down there in third. I really think that if she pulls it together, she can hold third or finish really strong.
I'm with it.
Uh, Katrina Allen, she's been watching her coverage. You would think that she's struggling a lot more. She's getting a lot of hard tree hits. She's getting a lot of missed putts, but she's still finishing top 5 consistently. I'm gonna keep her at number 2.
All right.
And then obviously rounding it out, you got the female Paul Macbeth, right? We got Paige Pierce. Paige Pierce has been so dominant. You know, I haven't necessarily seen the same fire in her. I
Mm-hmm.
was even telling the guys at the shop, we're watching live coverage, and I'm going, the Paige Pierce last year that had the confidence to go, I'm the best there ever was, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And then got absolutely bulldozed by my girl, Kristen Tatar, right? For the next 2 or 3 events. I think that humbled her a little bit, but she's been playing her game. She's definitely gone from being just a competitor to being someone that everybody wants to watch play because you're almost rooting her on, right? To see that she's humbled herself a little bit, but still has that same level of confidence.
Right.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too about Paige is that she gets a little bit of a bad stigma about that because she's confident in
Absolutely.
herself in that sort of way. But you know, you kind of get that like, oh, I don't like who she is as a person. But when you break down the things that she says and what she does as a person,
She
and
backs it up, man.
what everybody says about her as a person, all of that stigma is easily just like media interference. That's just
Mm-hmm.
100%.
this is what they're trying to this is an image that they're trying to push, and no different than like any news about whatever story it is that they're trying to push the image that fits the narrative they're trying to fit. And that's what Paige Pierce was for a while there. Was it was just like, well, she's just kind of like the baddie. You
Oh,
know,
absolutely.
she's standoffish, she's not a nice person, or this, that, and the other. And everybody you ever talk to is like, she's absolutely not that way ever.
Right.
No.
Ever. And
She's so kind.
and people are
Yeah.
starting to kind of see that side of her on coverage more
Yeah.
often recently. And I mean, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I do too.
Dude, whenever you see her like again at Texas State's, when she's going up to Kristen, and I think did Paige win that or Kristen won that?
And what?
I can't
Texas
remember.
States?
Yeah.
Page.
I think it was Paige
Kristen hit the light
because
pole.
that's right. And I remember her going to Kristen and just being like, loving on her and just being like, hey, like,
Yeah.
this was great.
Same
Like,
thing
you
at
really should
Champions
have taken
Cup.
this. She's just such a nice competitor, right?
Mhm.
Where it's like you said, we're competing. I want to kick your butt, but like, I still care about your health
Right.
because this sucks,
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Daniel, what you got?
I'm gonna go with, and I have no idea why, but I'm gonna put Henna in there
Okay.
as third place.
Ooh.
I think given the fact that with Tatar backing out and Henna moving up into the President's Cup, give a little chance for her to kind of get a warm up out there on the course.
Mhm.
You cannot discount the fact that there's a little bit of an advantage there, which could be similar as well for Evelina, and getting a chance to just be that little advantage of getting a competitive round on the course before your competitive solos round starts, right? I'm gonna go a little bit wild here and go Cat Merchant second.
I thought about it. I really did think about it, man.
It's not wild.
I think the Nico cat drama that's been going on has her fired up, bro.
I do too.
Yeah. So
Spicy drama.
it's spicy. Um,
You took my
considering,
drama.
and you might say that like, oh, it's not, it's not really that outside or wild of a pick, but she has not been playing that well of late,
Right.
to be completely honest. And I really like my first thought process when Josh was talking was like, yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, Henna, Katrina, and then Paige, 3-2-1. But I don't know. I think that we're gonna see something out of Cat this week. And then I'm picking Paige as well.
Okay.
And I'm picking Paige for one reason and one reason only, and that's after winning Champions Cup and really not looking good at USWTGC. We all know that for competitors of her level, the Macbeth level competitiveness, majors mean more.
Mhm.
And I think that competitiveness and knowing that this is a major, my last major did not go even a little bit how I wanted it to, that she's going to step up her game this week.
All right. I'm with it. All right. So mine is still going to be a little bit off the wall, but you took a little bit of my forte. So in third place, I'm going to go with some recency bias. Anakin Steen.
Interesting.
She just won the Sula. She also placed third at the Yarva Open. So I'm just laying that out there. So
I'm gonna say I don't have a problem with that pick. I think it's entirely possible.
Mhm.
But from what we saw at Sula, she needs to shave. If she were to go back out to Sula, she needs to shave 7 strokes off of that tournament to
and
do
she
that
might
here.
can do it with the right competition.
She might can do it.
You
So
might can.
and then I'm gonna have Katrina Allen in second.
I think we're all agreeing that Katrina's going to hit second. Did we just?
No,
No,
he
I
picked
picked Cat
Merch.
Merch.
Yep.
I picked the other Cat.
But me and you, Katrina Allen second, and then I'm
Mhm.
choosing Cat Merch as first.
Good. I mean, man.
I'm not
Good
afraid to
on you.
go out there
I
on that
like it.
limb because
Dude, I
No,
can see it.
I like
Yeah.
that. The only thing I say, I think you're absolutely nuts for not having Paige in the top 3 at all.
it has
But
only
I
done
like
me
the picks in
good
general.
not picking Paige.
Why?
That's the only time that I win.
Because
Is
every
not
time
picking
that
Paige.
every time that she wins as well, it's always when we're like, yeah, I just don't think Paige has got it this tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
But now with you off the fence and me on the fence and
Well, let's
Josh on the
see. I mean,
fence,
it could
It's
just be.
might be a little swing in that tide there.
Well,
might.
again, so she had the only reason why I chose Paige is because she is a little bit of
Sympathy
somebody
whore.
who, well, she likes the idea of having a challenge. And the last event that she played in, she kind of fell off
Yep.
and she didn't follow through and she didn't finish well. And it almost looked like she gave up. And so now to Paige, she's got something to prove. And if
Yeah.
any girl can prove it to herself, it's Paige.
Oh
So,
yeah.
When you
I will
again,
never doubt her abilities.
when you are a
It's
competitor
just
of
my
that level,
predictions.
yeah, when you are a competitor of that level, majors really do mean that much more. We talk about what do majors really mean. Yes, they mean a lot, especially for your. But when you're the player, I mean, you think about it this way: disc golf pro tour wins are awesome.
Yeah.
Pro Tour wins are akin to a playoff win in other types of
Oh
sports.
yeah.
But winning the major is like winning Game 7 of the World Series. Winning a major is like winning the Super Bowl.
But
Oh
all
yeah.
right,
That's
so hear
there's
me
just a
out
different
on
for a
this.
player of that level, that type of win just means something different.
Right, but hear me out, right? You see these cat merch commercials, right?
Sure.
They don't know, right?
Do I?
They don't right? They don't know just how competitive I am and everything. And
Bro,
it's one of those things. She might have that drive. Paige Pierce at one point didn't own a major title, right?
that's true.
You're right.
She
What was
started
Paige's
somewhere.
age? What was Paige's age the first year she won a title? I
I
want
don't
to
know
know.
what her
73.
I don't know what her age is right now. Probably like 37, I would say.
Goodness, I don't think so.
Yeah, well, I mean, she
37?
won her first
She
one
is
in
not that old.
2010. That
Oh
was 12
god.
years ago, right? So, yeah, fact
Okay,
check.
all I'm gonna say about Cat Merch, in the next 3 years, Cat Merch is either going to be the most dominant female professional player, or she's gonna stay where she's at, right?
I completely
'Cause
agree. I think she's
that
at
was
that
Paige.
threshold where she either breaks through or stays on that net.
She's
And I
Prodigy
don't
Paige right
I
now.
don't see that staying happening.
Yeah,
I think
I
So
don't
do you?
either. I think she's breaking
she's
through.
too competitive.
Well,
Did
so
y'all
think
see-
about it though.
Did y'all fact check
What?
me? Yep.
Yeah,
No, no,
yeah.
no.
You're thinking of Katrina Allen, who is around 37. Paige is like 30, 31. She's Paul's
So,
age.
well, the biggest thing is Paige, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't win any of her titles until she was with DD, correct? I don't think she won any with Prodigy, did she?
I don't
I don't. I couldn't
don't
tell you
know
off the top
that.
of my
I
head.
would be afraid to
Okay.
say.
So
Yeah.
I think of a youthful Paige, right? Is
Right.
who Cat Merch is right now. 20 years old, sponsored by Innova. She's got a lot of gusto. She's got a lot to prove, right? But she
Mhm.
doesn't have that, battle IQ
Yeah.
that a Paige Pierce or a Katrina Allen has. And so I think this year was her year to go out, prove to everybody that she's worth it, right?
Yep.
She's out there on tour. She's out there killing it. If she wins it, freaking awesome. If she doesn't, that's only another notch under her belt for next year that she can take to really push her game. I think
Yeah.
she's too young to continue to dominate against girls like Paige and Kat while they're in the prime, right?
But just
Right.
imagine if it happens. Oh, it's gonna be pure dominance for a little
Oh,
bit.
dude.
It'll be nice to see. All right. So there's my picks. There's all of our picks. Hopefully
Also, would
somebody
like
does
to.
well.
I'd like to say that I do not like drama. In some of the comments, Tommy Rush is saying this guy loves drama. I cannot stand drama. I run from drama.
See, that's usually me, unless
Li-
it's
Listen, everybody. He says that, but this podcast is not. It's not backing him up.
As soon as we get off stream, I'm fighting everybody in this lobby. Okay.
1v1 me on Rust, bro.
That's right. Come 1v1 me in Rocket League. I'll take
Okay.
it on right now.
How about we all
That
go to
actually sounds like
PUBG
a
where
great
we're on
time.
even fields here?
No, that's not even. All right, but
How is it not even? When was the last time you played PUBG?
Distance competition.
when I was on Xbox,
When was the last time you played PUBG?
Me?
Yeah.
Probably the last time Dr. Disrespect played PUBG.
That
Okay,
wasn't
and
that
the last
long
time
ago.
I played the last time I played PUBG was back on Xbox as well. We would be on even ground. I promise
All I'm
you.
saying
It has
is,
been long enough.
Okay,
if
we
we
would
get
be on
into a
even ground.
if we get into a Warzone lobby, or even better, the hardest first-person shooter in the world, Apex Legends, I will dominate anybody. That's just how it works. Okay.
I'm down to play.
I never
mean,
said I was.
Yeah, I'm
Easy-
good.
Easy going, Ethan over here.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
he is.
It's like you just invite and I'm there.
Every time he dies, just nards.
Oh no.
That's the new disc, Josh's drama.
Oh god.
I mean, we could see
We
it.
can't-
We got to get
we
that
can't be
penny
talking-
putter first.
Oh, it's because it always goes away. Because you
Oh,
always
right,
throw it
right,
away.
right.
That's right.
I mean,
Away from the camera.
we have a monthly or a weekly segment here called Daniel's Drama. Why can't I get a disc? Okay. Josh might be
Ooh,
bringing
yeah.
drama, but like I
That's
bring
true.
drama every week.
I bring
Right.
trauma with a capital T.
Oh.
No.
I bring the llamas.
I mean, you're not.
Robert Walden. Let's definitely get some Warzone, dude. Warzone Jesus is ready for battle. Okay.
I'm ready. I want to.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't played Fortune's Keep yet, so.
Yep, I have.
Nobody
I
is.
don't. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm not. I'm not playing. No, people. That's the thing. People are playing. I refuse to go back and play Caldera though. If
Yeah,
you want to play
No,
Fortune's Keep,
Caldera
I'm
is
there.
trash,
Yeah.
If
dude.
you want to play
Caldera.
Fortune's Keep, I mean, I've watched a little bit of it. It looks pretty good. Pacing is weird, but it looks fine. You cannot get me back into Caldera. though.
Caldera
I'm
is
sorry.
hot garbage simply for the fact that 90% of the map is huts and you can't hide from an airstrike
Yeah.
in the
Basically,
middle
okay.
of a map.
Listen. We're sitting here talking about PUBG, and you know what Caldera is? Caldera is just a PUBG map,
Yeah, it's
but with
bad.
Warzone pacing.
Ugh.
It works for PUBG because the pacing is different. It's the way the game is designed.
Yeah.
Warzone was not designed for that kind of a map. I'm sorry. It's literally.
That's me. That's me doing my PUBG. My best PUBG.
Man, I'd love to see you in Tarkov.
That'd be
Don't even get
better.
me started on Tarkov, bro.
All right. Well, we've been 2 hours and 10 minutes on this
we always do
podcast.
this.
We need to go ahead and end this one and then get over into the
Yeah.
the commentary. Josh is going
Yeah.
to
I'll-
commentate our Lone Star Disc only round here
Yeah.
in just a few minutes, as soon as I get it pulled up and we get everything swapped over.
So this is what we're going to do, guys. For any of you who are listening on the audio feeds, thank you so much for joining us. We are going to be ending the audio feed right here. However, the video feed live here on Facebook is going to continue. Check that timestamp at the end of this audio feed from whatever podcast you guys are listening to. Go back to Facebook, scrub the video directly to about this time, and you'll get to watch the world release of our very first round ever recorded, which was a Lone Star Disc only challenge. With that being said, thank you guys so much for listening to another episode. 30 episodes. It's been absolutely wild. Thank you so much to Lone Star Disc for being our very first sponsor, hopping on the board, and basically bringing this podcast to you now for the foreseeable future.
Yes, and also shout out to Disc and Disciples and ladies of Music City Disc Golf. And to everyone out there, we appreciate you, and we will see y'all on the next hole.